they just don't make anymore? Then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News for Thursday, June 8th. Our top story, a shared revenue deal that leaves Brew City on the outside looking in.
I'm Eric Bilstead, the Big Apple covered in smoke.
I'm Brandon Snide, a new Brewers record as the crew goes crazy.
I'm Debbie Laziga, looking pretty good out on the roads right now, not seeing too many problems. Most of the overnight construction's been kind of pulled back, so we're in good shape right now for most of those areas. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Kristen Kershane today. Sunny with a little bit of haze in there and a high of 75 degrees. A little bit cooler near the lake. Tonight, clear skies at a low down to 52. Right now at 56. In Milwaukee and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a showdown over shared revenue Wednesday.
It started with Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying that if a deal on shared revenue isn't done by the end of the week, he would propose a bill that did not contain the contentious proposals around allowing Milwaukee to raise its sales tax, with a number of stipulations attached to that by Wisconsin Republicans. But it's Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu who upped the ante, saying the legislature had sent its last proposal to Governor Evers and that a deal needed to be reached by Wednesday. Both LeMahieu and Vos saying the fight is taking time away from work on the state budget. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Now, Governor Evers said Wednesday he was hopeful the shared revenue deal would be made by the end of the week.
A proposal that would ban flags, signage, and what's being called divisive propaganda will be discussed at an Arrowhead Union High School Board Committee meeting today. The measure would prohibit signage at the school that promotes one group over others, stating that it can create isolation and division.
A victim of a hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's Brady Street, said to be doing much better. The man whom friends call Quincy was hit early Memorial Day morning. Relatives telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel he suffered 2 broken femurs, a broken foot, broken ribs, and lacerated liver and kidneys. Despite all those injuries, organizers of his GoFundMe account say he is awake and doing better. Police released a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot that hit Quincy, but there has been no word of any arrests.
A thick smoke from Canadian wildfires continues to blanket large portions of the East Coast, impacting tens of millions of Americans. New York City, the hardest hit. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Isnansky.
New York City has the worst air quality on Earth right now.
Now, many outdoor events are canceled, and officials urging people to stay indoors in areas of the East Coast. ABC's Andrew Dimberg.
The conditions are expected to last until this weekend. A weather system which remains locked in place is circulating all that smoky air. Washington, D.C. could see some of the worst conditions today, while cities including Pittsburgh and Dayton, Ohio, are bracing for worsening conditions tomorrow. Doctors recommend minimizing time outdoors in affected areas.
Low visibility, delaying flights, also health concerns, canceling all types of things, even Broadway shows. Now, on a scale out of 500, New York City's air quality index hit 484 yesterday. On a scale out of 500, the EPA considers anything above 300 hazardous.
The FBI bringing the prime suspect in the Natalie Holloway case to the U.S. to face charges today.
Joran Vandersloot has been serving time in a Peruvian prison for the 2010 murder of a college student there, but he has long been suspected in the disappearance and death of Natalie Holloway 18 years ago when the Alabama teen was on a trip to Aruba. Sources tell ABC News a flight with 8 FBI agents and 8 crew members arrived in Lima, Peru Wednesday. Vandersloot is being extradited back to the U.S. on extortion and wire fraud charges related to the Holloway case. That flight taking off after agents take him into custody, perform a medical check, and complete the necessary paperwork. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
A former sheriff's deputy in Florida accused of doing nothing during the Parkland school massacre back in 2018 is now on trial. The deaths of 14 students and 3 staff members blamed in part on former sheriff's deputy and school resource officer Scott Peterson. ABC's Derek Dennis.
The prosecutor, in his opening statement, characterized Scott Peterson as a coward for waiting outside while the shooter took lives. Defense attorney Mark Eiglarsh says Peterson, a 32-year veteran officer, was the first to call in a code red, but did not know where the shots were coming from, which building, or even which direction.
There was a pronounced echo and reverberation.
Survivors testifying about the horror.
I was just waiting for the police. It was the longest 20 minutes of my entire life.
Coming up, a Hollywood actress battles brain cancer. Signing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time 5:05.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
This is going to be interesting, so pay attention.
Mountains and trees.
Ducks and hunting dogs.
Dinosaur bones.
Meteorites.
Steel that's carved like the leather stirrups on a Western saddle.
Damascus steel.
Like they make swords out of.
Carbon fiber.
Hardwood.
Manly things.
Hardwood.
You already said that.
I know. I just like the sound of it. Hardwood.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Ring. I see what you did there.
I'm sorry. I got us off track.
Kessler's has wedding bands for men.
Real men.
Made of manly things.
He wants you to wear a big, beautiful diamond so that everyone you meet will know how much he loves you.
Why not insist that he wear something equally cool?
You'll tell your grandkids about the day you went shopping for this wedding band at Kessler's when they ask,
"Where did you get such a cool ring? And what is it made of?"
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Wisconsin's own Wettiger Compressor has been in business since 1932, breathing new life into businesses all throughout the Midwest. Wettiger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Available anytime at pressureisoff.biz.
Wettiger Compressor.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Afternoon baseball at American Family Field, and the Brewers go for the sweep. Brandon Snide with sports at 5:15.
In Racine, an investigation underway after a man found dead inside a bedroom fire. This happened at a home near 19th and Hayes on Wednesday. Crews found a large fire, smoke coming from the house. After controlling that fire, they did find the victim inside. His identity has yet to be released.
A new mental health clinic in Hales Corners hopes to fill a need in southeast Wisconsin.
The clinic, which is now open, is part of the Ellie Mental Health Network. Franchise owner Matt Taken tells WTMJ his family's own experiences inspired him to open his Ellie Clinic.
Wait times in order to see a mental health professional, and kind of understood the need of just the lack of quality care that was available.
Another barrier to access is cost, and Taken is already working to make sure that's not an issue.
We have 7 different insurance carriers active right now, and we're actively getting contracted with more.
Right now, there is no wait list for services. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Actress Shannon Doherty shares the fear she's going through as she battles cancer.
My fear is obvious, Shannon Doherty writes in a post on Instagram that's accompanied by a video of her going through brain radiation therapy. She says she found out in January that her cancer had migrated to her brain, and in the video you can see tears in her eyes as she receives treatment. Doherty was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, and after going into remission, she revealed in 2020 that the disease had spread and was now stage 4. In the new post, she says she wanted to share the fear and turmoil so people can see what cancer can look like. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Coming up, no, I am not that guy. 5:08 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Listen, joint pain is a thief. No two ways about it.
That's football legend Emmitt Smith, who knows a thing or two about pain.
It steals your joy, your time with family, or doing things you love. It can even steal your livelihood. But QC Kinetics can help put a stop to that.
Don't hand everything over to pain. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, a cutting-edge technology that helps relieve pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back using healing properties directly from your own body.
It's easy. Get treated in the office and walk right out afterward.
Simple, right? And QC Kinetics' remarkable all-natural treatments deliver long-lasting relief without surgery or long recovery times.
Don't let soreness or achiness rob you of doing the things you love. Tell that pain, not today, not ever. You've got QC Kinetics on your side.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Checking in with Debbie here at 5:10. Boy, almost cost you 2 hours, Deb. What time is it?
Moving ahead. All right. Right now we're looking good on the freeway system. No major delays. We've got no incidents either up on the board to speak of. So at this point, we are rolling just fine. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a little cool out the door this morning, but this afternoon's going to feel good. Highs around 70, lakeside mid-70s. Inland, lots of sunshine, just a little hazy outside today. Tonight, clear with inland lows in the 40s. Near the lake, will drop into the 50s. Friday, mostly sunny, a little warmer. Highs near the lake in the low to mid-70s. Inland will top out around 80. Saturday will be a warm day with highs in the 80s, partly cloudy with a chance for showers and some thunderstorms, mainly late in the day on Saturday. Sunday, mostly cloudy, showers looking likely and much cooler with highs only in the 60s for the second half of the weekend. Monday, we've got the chance for rain lingering, high temperatures in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kristen Kershane with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 56 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
So I'm in line at the store, and a guy's looking me up and down, checking me out, and this happens from time to time. I've been off TV for more than a year.
The guy working there? Or?
No, another guy in line in front of me.
Okay.
Right? He's kind of looking at me, and he's giving me that look he's trying to place it. It's out of context for him.
He definitely knows
Feels
you.
like I've seen this guy before. This is someone I've seen.
Okay.
And my kids ask, Dad, are you famous? I'm like, no, I have a job that had me in front of people for 20 years.
It must happen all the time, though, right?
Sure, because you're on TV for 20-some years, right? People just... but when you... It's like when you run into your teacher at the grocery store, right? This is out of context.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Worlds are colliding.
I was going to work out. I look like a train wreck. I'm just whatever. But this guy's I could tell he's trying to place it. And he says, "Hey, are you that senator?"
Yes, senator.
Well, yes, I am.
No,
As a matter of fact.
I'm not. And sometimes they'll drop it and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then they just move along.
Sure.
And it's no trouble to me. Just okay. Sometimes I'll help people. I'm like, "Nah, used to be on Channel 4. That's it. Yeah, okay, right." So this guy, but he won't leave it. He's like, "Yeah, you're like a politician or something, some kind of politician," and he's insisting. I'm like, man,
and you're not biting, huh?
No, well,
why don't you just tell me who you are?
Why don't you just tell me who you are? I could have helped, but it was I don't know, it hit me wrong. It's like some kind of. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm like, a little bit insulted.
So you said I'm not a politician.
I said, no, I'm not at all.
I'd be offended by that too.
And he still won't leave it. And he says, "Aren't you Scott? Are you sure you're not Scott Walker?"
Yeah, are you sure?
So A, not a senator. Also, not the two-time governor of the state of Wisconsin. I've never gotten that one.
Right. Scott Walker, I suppose similar heights, similar hair color.
I think the governor's a little bit taller than me.
Sure.
We're about the same age. I think he's got a couple of years on me, but
I don't see it, but I get it. Your brain is firing, pistons are going. You know the dude somehow.
Right. So I just kind of left it at that.
Did you say you were? Yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
I am the
What can I do for
governor.
you? How would you like to contribute to my campaign? Right. I have this political action committee. We'd be glad to have your support.
I've had it where This is years ago. I was at the grocery store and I'm barking at the kids about something like, put that gum down, blah, 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 saying something. And then like,
proud parenting moment.
Yeah, very proud parenting moment. And of course, the checker's like, hey, I know that voice. And I'm like, oh,
great.
Man, I really don't always yell at the kids, but I am right now, and you just caught me.
Nice to meet you. I'm John Mercure. 5:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma was in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After being the hero on Tuesday night against Baltimore, Joey Weimer was back at it over at American Family Field Wednesday night with not one, not two, but 5 RBIs, including this deep one in the 7th inning.
Hit down the left field line. It is back. It is gone. A 2-homer game for Joey Weimer. And the Brewers have hung a 10 spot on Baltimore.
Lane Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ as the Brewers go on to win Game 2 of 3 by a final of 10-2. Corbin Burns got the start, and he looked to be back in his Cy Young form, tossing 8 innings, allowing no runs, and striking out 9. But back to the beginning of the story. This one was all about rookie Joey Weimer, who finished the day going 4 for 4, 5 runs batted in, and 2 home runs, and a Brewers record of 11 total bases.
I think players get hot, and it maybe took him a little while, and he's obviously in a really good stretch right now where he's seeing the ball well, getting good pitches to hit, and not missing them. It's producing a lot of offense and doing big things for us.
The Brewers will look for the series sweep later today. Coverage of that game will get underway right here on WTMJ at 12:35. To the NFL, where things in Green Bay are looking a bit different this time of year for a change. The starting quarterback is actually participating in the offseason program and starting to turn some heads on his connection with second-year wide receiver Romeo Doubs.
I think it's easy when you've got a really good player. They just kind of make it happen. It's easy to get them the ball. He's catching it. Romeo's catching it really well right now. He's running really good routes, and he's getting open. So it's easy to throw it to open guys, but he's been doing a really good job. And, we've had that connection. We've done a lot of stuff last year, so just continuing that connection has been great, but he's doing a great job.
The Packers will conclude their organized team activities later today. Lastly, to the NBA, where Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets reclaimed the 2-1 series lead over the Miami Heat by a final score of 109-94 in Game 3. Jokic and Jamal Murray became the first teammates in NBA Finals history to both record 30-point triple-doubles. Denver will look to add to their lead with Game 4 scheduled for Friday night.
Coming up.
You don't have the votes. You don't have the votes.
Who doesn't have the votes and what it means for Milwaukee? That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Had a rough week? Not to worry. Relax and join Jeff Wagner every Friday at 2:35 for Pop Culture Corner. Brought to you by Palermo's Pizza. Come tell us the best of the best in pop culture, and you could win a prize package from Palermo's.
What is the best movie sequel of all time? Your guilty pleasure on television? I've got a whole long list. Curious to hear from you.
It's Wagner's Pop Culture Corner. Fridays at 2:35 on WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach, one who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at Accunet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Trees on the Move, offering ideas for outdoor living and beautifying yards with landscape consultation, design, and installation, including retaining walls, paver patios, tree trimming, and more. Trees on the Move has been offering landscape services for over 43 years and now offering stamped and colored concrete drives, patios, and sidewalks. Beautify your yard this year with Trees on the Move. TreesOnTheMove.com.
Planning to planting, Trees on the Move.
5:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News. What's happening on the roads, Deb?
Not much, Vince. It's super quiet across the area. Light volume, and what volume is out there is moving along at standard speed, so we're in good shape. Hey, you can be our eyes on the roads. You can report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions at the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Kristen Kershane. Bit on the cool side, high of 75 degrees inland, 70 at the lake under sunny skies with a little haze. Tonight, clear skies and a low down to 52. Friday looks perfect, mostly sunny, 80 degrees inland, cooler near the lake. Saturday, partly cloudy with a chance of showers and storms, some much needed rain. That would be in the evening, or he's got storms late. Depends on what late is for you, but nonetheless, looks like the morning part of Saturday is good with a high of 83. Sunday, mostly cloudy, showers likely and cooler with a high of 67. Chance of rain on Monday and a high of 68. Right now, 56 in Milwaukee. 5:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Thursday morning. History repeats itself in every way. Remember the cabinet battle in Hamilton the musical?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We fought for these ideals, we shouldn't settle for less. These are wise words, enterprising men quote them. Don't act surprised, you guys, cause I wrote them. Ow!
The rap battle over the plan for the national treasury. The part that's germane to today's conversation, the founders back in the early days of the nation battling through the machinations of the Democratic Republic that they created and how ideas and backroom deals turned into action by getting larger approval of the whole.
You don't have the votes. You don't have the votes. You're gonna need congressional approval and you don't have the votes.
So who doesn't have the votes today, Eric?
Depends on who you ask.
The state Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu.
Yeah.
How about that?
Now, how about that? Wisconsin State Assembly passed a bill to up state shared revenue payments to local municipalities and counties across the state. We talked about that. Mm-hmm. It includes a provision that would allow Milwaukee County to levy an additional sales tax and for the city of Milwaukee to create a sales tax for the first time with a whole bunch of strings attached, including that both entities would need to put those proposals to a binding referendum. In other words, you can't do all that unless voters approve it. And it puts local leaders in the unenviable position to have to publicly say, we don't want to put it to a referendum because we don't think it will pass. We'd rather just have you let us do this.
Stick it to them.
Well, LeMahieu in the state Senate thought they might pass a version of a state shared revenue plan that removed that referendum provision. The Senate Majority Leader now admitting,
You don't have the votes. You don't have the votes.
So the last best offer appears to be, this is the deal, as passed in the Assembly, as would be passed in the Senate, referendum and other strings attached, all included for Milwaukee. And that's Assembly Speaker Robin Voss's outlook.
We already passed a bill. It's now in the Senate. I think that the idea of having a referendum, some people have objections to, as you heard from Senator LeMahieu, I think it was on up front, where he said that he did not have votes without a referendum in there.
So Voss saying time to move on. He did say that he met with Governor Evers earlier in the week, and there is concern that Evers would veto the bill if it had all of those strings attached provisions within it. So there have been negotiations.
What are those negotiations, though? Because nothing is different.
And if it can't pass, if some sort of negotiated, well, yeah, I guess the negotiation would be if the Senate were able to pass it without the strings attached, would you in the Assembly go
take
back?
it back and take a look at it? Okay.
And then pass the same
But
version.
since they don't have the votes, here we are.
But they don't have the votes to do that in the Senate anyway, and Voss has pretty much had it.
As I have said before, it is not my first option, but if we do not get a deal this week, I think we should strip out all of the Milwaukee things. And we will just focus on the balance of the bill, which is repealing the personal property tax and making sure that every community around the state is not held hostage by Milwaukee's problem. So that is not my first option. That's why we passed a bill which had solutions in it. But if we don't get it done this week, the only option they're really leaving us is to kind of pass the bill that we have.
So, I mean, at some point, negotiations have to end and action or inaction has to take place.
This whole thing has been strange and odd since the beginning.
You've been onto that since we started talking about this, before it was even passed in the Assembly.
When they even announced it, remember they came here, they did the little dog and pony show, and the rest of the state did theirs in Madison, then Voss and others came here, and the mayor was there, and they had an event here in Milwaukee. And even then, they were weird about it.
It was like, we have this deal, but we're also still negotiating. We're also still negotiating.
So, and part of me, the skeptic in me wonders, okay, was this the plan all along? Like, not to really get anything done with Milwaukee? The rest of the state is fine. We'll take care of that part. But here we are. I don't know. This whole thing seems very strange, and it seemed doomed from the start. And why is that?
I think you're right always to be skeptical about, is there a hidden motivation that we don't see? I don't see what that would be for Speaker Voss. I mean, there's nothing about getting a deal done with Milwaukee that gets Voss reelected as Assembly Speaker, Voss reelected in his home district in Racine County. So I don't see what that underlying motivation might be.
Right, sure.
So I feel like...
But why? How do you have the votes and then don't have the votes? How do you have the votes to remove the referendum in the Senate and then, oh, by the way, I don't anymore. I don't really have what I thought I had.
Or was it a negotiating tactic at some point? I have no idea why it came to where it is right now in the Senate. But that's where we are today, nonetheless. The months-long negotiation involving Milwaukee and legislative officials and the governor on the clock and in danger of being fully undone.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We fought for these ideals, we shouldn't settle for less. These are wise words, enterprising men quote them. Don't act surprised, you guys, cause I wrote them.
News about your money this morning. On the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update, Dow Jones Industrial Average was up more than 91 points to 33,665. Down on the NASDAQ, off more than 170 points to 13,105, and the S&P 500 closed down 16 to 4268. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow harvested from your body and then placed back into your body get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
I'm Sandy Max, and I'm a big fan of public television. Did you know that Milwaukee PBS is celebrating 65 years of serving southeastern Wisconsin? And it is your support that makes this possible. All this week, Milwaukee PBS is celebrating summer with a series of concerts and specials. Tonight at 8, watch Jerry App's Food and Memories. Raised on a Wisconsin farm, Jerry shares memories and recipes. Milwaukee PBS, a community treasure for 65 years.
Smooth waters and clear horizons are ahead. The experienced team of advisors at Fox World Travel are ready to uncover your cruising style. Are you sailing off into a Caribbean sunset, taking in the European charm along riverways? Maybe an exotic expedition or Alaskan cruise are on your bucket list. We'll help you cruise like never before with Royal Caribbean, Holland America, Uniworld Boutique River Cruises, and more. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call a Fox Cruise expert at 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weniger Compressor, putting the I Can in American. This is the U.S. Military Band. 5:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Good morning, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, Milwaukee could be left out of a shared revenue bill.
I'm Eric Bilstead, a thick blanket of smoke.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Brewers bring in the bats.
I'm Debbie Lazagatz. Everything is looking really good right now. Light volume and full freeway speeds. I'm Debbie Lazagatz with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Sunny and a bit hazy today, high of 75 degrees. Right now, 56.
Stay indoors or mask up. That's the advice in multiple states as Canadian wildfire smoke wafts from the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast and New England.
The New York City skyline looked out of this world, appearing orange. Low visibility, delaying flights, and health concerns canceling Major League Baseball games, closing zoos, even shutting down some Broadway shows. On a scale out of 500, New York City's air quality index hit 484 yesterday, the worst of anywhere on the planet. The EPA considers anything above 300 hazardous.
ABC's Andrew Dimbert. Former President Trump on notice. A federal grand jury appears to be closer to indicting him over mishandling classified documents. ABC News learning Trump was sent an official target letter informing him that he's the focus of a special counsel investigation. A knife attacker in southeastern France injuring 8 people, including children, in a town in the Alps. Police have detained the attacker. No word on a motive. Lawmakers in the French National Assembly observing a moment of silence. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, Milwaukee could be left out of the state's shared revenue plan. Lawmakers have been working on a package that would send money to communities across the state. GOP and Democratic leaders have been at odds over how to raise a sales tax in Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says if they don't reach a deal by the end of the week, he would support removing Milwaukee from the package.
If we do not get a deal this week, I think we should strip out all of the Milwaukee things, and we will just focus on the balance of the bill, which is repealing the personal property tax and making sure that every community around the state is not held hostage by Milwaukee's problems.
Vos and Senate Majority Leader Devin Lemonhew met with the governor earlier this week. Now, Vos has said they will pause talk on the full state budget discussions until this shared revenue legislation is completed. Democratic Madison Senator Melissa Agard on News 3 Now.
When we're looking at the whole budget as opposed to different pieces of the budget, we're able to actually fit those puzzle pieces together in a better way. So splintering different topics off feels a little bit concerning to me.
Governor Evers has said that he remains optimistic a deal will be reached.
The U.S. House Oversight Committee canceling its planned contempt of Congress vote against the FBI director, ABC's Andy Field.
The Republican-controlled House Oversight Committee had demanded that Director Wray show an FBI investigation document involving Hunter Biden to every member of the committee, or they'd hold him in contempt. Wray had shown it to top members in both parties, but Republicans said it wasn't enough. Now the FBI will let the entire committee see it. The top Democrat who's reviewed it says the document reveals nothing that investigators didn't already know and dismiss.
Back here at home, a victim of a hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's Brady Street is said to be doing much better now. The man, who friends call Quincy, was hit early Memorial Day morning. Relatives tell the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel he suffered 2 broken femurs, a broken foot, broken ribs, lacerated liver, and kidneys. Now, despite all these injuries, organizers of his GoFundMe account say that he is awake and doing better. They've raised more than $34,000 for him. Police did release a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot they believe hit Quincy, but there's been no word of any arrests.
Several Milwaukee County municipalities taking advantage of a new state law to significantly increase the cost that comes with reckless driving tickets. In Glendale, the police chief there, Mark Ferguson, telling TMJ4 News, it won't solve the problem on its own.
Some of the people that I think are driving recklessly, I don't think they really care about citations or fines, so I'm not sure how much of that would help.
Glendale has one of the lowest costs for first offense reckless driving at $313, something Chief Ferguson hopes will change.
Coming up, the Pontiff on the mend.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:34.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNows.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
The next time you're due for service, visit richlands.com to schedule an appointment at any of our 5 conveniently located facilities.
All AAA approved and all staffed by ASE certified technicians ready to serve you.
Richlands.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
A rookie record breaker for the Crew. Brandon Snide has sports at 5:45.
New clinic in Hales Corners hoping to bring a fresh take on mental health.
The goal of the LA Mental Health Network is to destigmatize mental health treatment and to help make it more accessible. Clinical Director Colleen Christensen tells WTMJ.
We have inclusive office spaces that allow for authenticity both of our therapists and of our clients.
Christensen says she's also trying to make the clinic a healthy place for its employees.
I really want a reputation for therapists in the community to see this as a place where we are changing that work culture.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Pope Francis awake and alert after a good first night in the hospital following a 3-hour operation.
Rest now for the pontiff following a procedure to remove intestinal scar tissue and repair a hernia. Meanwhile, the faithful, like this tourist from Belgium, have been praying at the Vatican for his quick recovery, but they're mindful of his age.
He's an old man, just like you, me, as we are older. We get sick, and then I find that if it's too sick to stay on, he has to go.
A spokesman at Rome's Gemelli Hospital says there were no complications. Francis is expected to remain there for several days. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
So where are those Gen Zers purchasing homes? What area of the country are they most interested in living?
Salt Lake City. Utah's capital has the largest number of young people getting into real estate. Lending Tree says Oklahoma City is the second most popular, followed by Birmingham, Alabama. Experts say while big cities like San Francisco and New York appeal to the younger crowd, they're simply unaffordable. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Well, that's true.
Can't buy a house if you can't buy a house, right?
Right.
Unaffordable and unavailable. I mean, that's the other thing. Like around here, gosh, we have so many younger teammates here at the company who are like, hear their stories for months and months and months. Well, there were like 15 offers on the house that we put in.
Well, there are 1 million houses being built where I live. Holy cow. So if you're looking for one, you might be able to find one in the Sussex, Menominee Falls area.
Go be Eric's neighbor. Coming up, the Home for Broadway in Milwaukee has a new president. We'll hear from him next.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sounds of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Evans in Delafield supports Milwaukee's baseball team. Find them at evanstrans.com.
If last year taught us anything, it's that owning a business means being resourceful. And that includes choosing partners you can trust. At Town Bank, they were there for more than 12,000 local businesses when they needed a Paycheck Protection Program loan. And they're here now to help you and your business succeed this year. No matter what goals you've set, Town Bank can help you achieve them with banking solutions like entrepreneur checking, small business loans, and more. Learn more at townbank.us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Traffic is sponsored by Miller Mobility, equipping seniors to remain living at home. Mention this ad and save 10% on stair lifts, scooters, lift chairs, bathroom safety, and more at Miller Mobility's Customer Appreciation Sale, June 9th and 10th. MillerMobility.com.
Checking in on the roads here, 20 to 6. What do you have, Deb?
Well, up in Washington County, Steve gave us a call on the traffic tip line about a slowdown right around Holy Hill Road. Well, basically, it's construction that is in the process of being pulled back as it is right now. We're down to 2 lanes instead of 3. They're pulling back the barrels as we speak, and things should start getting better, but it is slowing down all the way back from Frystad to Holy Hill Road. Heads up with that. Thanks for Steve to calling us.
Good looking out, Steve.
Way to go, buddy. We actually have a pretty good ride the rest of the system, though. We really don't have any other delays up on the board. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. You might want a light sweater out the door this morning. Cool temperatures, but this afternoon you won't need it. It's going to feel nice outside. Highs around 70 lakeside, mid-70s inland. Plenty of sunshine, only a little hazy out there today. Tonight, clear skies with lows dropping back into the 50s near the lake. Inland, we'll see a few 40s. Friday, mostly sunny, a little warmer with highs in the mid-70s lakeside, around 80 inland. Saturday, a warm start to the weekend with highs making it into the 80s. Partly cloudy. We do have the chance Saturday to see some showers and a few thunderstorms, but the best chance looks like it'll be late on Saturday. Sunday, still holding on to the chance for some rain showers, otherwise mostly cloudy and certainly cooler. Highs for the second half of the weekend on Sunday, only in the 60s. Monday, we'll hold on to at least a slight chance for rain showers with highs in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kristen Kershane with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 56 degrees. This week, the Marcus Performing Arts Center announced Kevin Galinto will be the new president and CEO. Marcus Center home to performances including the Milwaukee Ballet, First Stage, Florentine Opera, Black Arts MKE, and the popular touring Broadway shows, of course. Galinto, a Marquette University alumnus, tells me he is wrapping up his work in leadership at Washington's Kennedy Center, excited to get back to Milwaukee.
I think it's a rich and robust artistic community. The theaters that are here and the quality of the theaters and the quality of the presenting companies and the arts institutions are just really outstanding.
Talking with Kevin Galinto, he is been named the president and CEO of the Marcus Performing Arts Center. How'd you get the job, Kevin? What did you tell the board that caused them to say, this is our guy?
I knew of the Marcus Center and I knew its reputation, and I love the city so much, and I don't know any Marquette grad who doesn't have the same affinity and affection for Milwaukee. But the fact that what I've been doing for 25 years is really building diverse audiences for a wide array of different performance experiences, but then establishing long-term relationships with those audiences.
Talking with Kevin Galinto, he's been named president and CEO of the Marcus Performing Arts Center. You have to have the commitment to staging shows of all kinds, and there's the artwork that you really want to do and the progressive things, and then every once in a while you still got to throw Oklahoma in there to help fill the seats and pay the bills, right?
That is absolutely true, and we are lucky to be partners with Broadway across America and have the amount of Broadway programming that we do. And and I saw this in DC as well. We grow a lot of our audience who also come through theater. Either they're coming through theater first and then attend other things, or they're attending other things and want to go to musical theater and Broadway. And that kind of programming, and not just Broadway programming, but that kind of popular programming has to be part of the mix.
That's Kevin Galinto. He will begin his work as president and CEO at the Marcus Performing Arts Center in July. 5:44, Brandon Snide has sports next.
The year is almost half over and you are still dealing with that knee or hip pain, right? Enough is enough. Pills are not the answer, and neither is surgery. You need to call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. The advanced regenerative medicine solutions at QC Kinetics can give you a life without chronic joint pain. You can do all those summer activities you used to enjoy. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in taking healing properties from your own body and applying them right to your achy joints, so your joint tissue can be repaired and restored naturally. The treatment is revolutionary, and it's right here in Milwaukee. Patients across America are having life-changing results, and there's no drugs or surgery or downtime. If you have pain in your knees, back, shoulders, hips, you got to stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics for a free consultation. Learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can give you your life back. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Off Mosquito Repellent, a clean feel so you can accessorize without mosquitoes. You can wear classic whites and jeans and know what you are covered with 8 hours of not sticky, fragrance-free protection. S.C. Johnson.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Milwaukee Brewers were back at it on Wednesday night, welcoming back Willie Adames into the starting lineup from his injury, and per usual, it was Willie who the one got the party started.
To his left, center and deep. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Willie Adames! He's back!
Bob Uecker on the call right here on WTMJ. That was just the start of it. The Brewers bringing the bats out early and often, including rookie Joey Wiemer, who finished the day with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, helping the Brew Crew go on for the 10-2 victory.
Drills this one into the gap in right center. Back Santander, looking up, it's gone! 2 straight swings for Wiemer, this time a 2-run blast. And the Brewers have a 3-0 lead.
There was an all-around fantastic game for the Brewers, and that included Corbin Burns, who got the start, and he looked to be back in his Cy Young form, tossing 8 innings, allowing no runs, and striking out 9 batters. The Brewers will look for the series sweep later today. Coverage of that game gets underway right here on WTMJ at 12:35. To the NBA Finals, where Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets reclaimed 2-1 series lead over the Heat with the 109-94 Game 3 win in Miami. Jokic and Jamal Murray became the first teammates in NBA Finals history to both record 30-point triple-doubles. Denver will look to add to their lead with Game 4 scheduled for Friday. And lastly, to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers will look to wrap up their organized team activities later today. So far, there has been some highs and some lows for new starting quarterback Jordan Love. But regardless of either, head coach Matt LaFleur is pleased with his play thus far.
I'm less concerned about the end result right now, but I do believe that if the process is correct, he is going to be more consistent. So within that it's just the footwork, the clean mechanics, keeping a base in the pocket, being able to throw at any point in time. And I think just the rhythm and the timing, that's something that we've really stressed. I think he's done a good job, in particular this week, of making some really significant strides.
The Packers' next focus will begin on Tuesday of next week with a three-day mandatory minicamp.
Up next.
On Mercury.
I need to talk to you about your Medicare Part B. I don't have that. Yes, you do. That story is coming up.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth is excited to be back celebrating the 52nd annual Juneteenth celebration in Milwaukee. Make sure you come down on Monday, June 19th, as we will be broadcasting live from the Juneteenth celebration from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by our table to play games, win Truth swag, and say what up to your favorite Truth teammates. The 1017 The Truth celebration of Juneteenth is sponsored by Educators Credit Union, Tayback Law, Molson Coors, and Associated Bank.
What does your husband think of your voice?
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. My house was built in 1967, Eric. And I'm not a particularly handy person, but anytime I've tried to do some home repair, whatever, I've realized this. Nothing in my house is like standard.
Everything needs a little bit of a custom fit.
Everything has to be custom, which is why I went with Pella Windows and Doors for my new patio door and the windows that will surround it just off of my family room. Because nothing, even if I wanted to try to squeeze something into that space, nothing fits. So it's a custom order. And I know you're thinking, ooh, custom order, that's expensive. Well, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin has a great deal going for you right now. You can customize, bundle, and save big. That's what we're doing at my house. It's all premium wood windows and patio doors featuring the distinguished craftsmanship and nearly endless possibilities. Wood, of course, a natural material. You can paint it, stain it. They'll leave it bare if you want, however you want to complement your unique home decor. And they stand by their products. Pella confidently offers the best wood warranty in the industry. You have until August 31st to take advantage of the great deal. Customize your order to bundle and save big. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Would you trust a part-time dentist? Then why would you trust a part-time fiduciary? Some financial professionals say they're a fiduciary, and they are, part-time. The other portion of the time they're interacting with you, they might be serving other interests. Do yourself a favor. Ask your financial professional if they're a fiduciary all the time. Annex Wealth Management is. Drill down into your finances with the full-time fiduciary team at Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
Great grilling is easy at Sendix. This week, natural pork tenderloin and USDA boneless skinless chicken thighs are just $2.99 per pound. Happy grilling from Sendix, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
On Mercury. He's next. Take it easy there, John. Traffic sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926.
It's an oil painting.
Your turn, Deb.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Be. Girl, this is all for you.
Oh, great. Wonderful. We've got actually a pretty good ride shaping up across the area. What little delays we had up near Holy Hill Road because the construction are easing themselves out, so we're in good shape. The rest of the system, full freeway speeds, and no other incidents. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
What does your husband think of your voice?
WTMJ's 5-day forecast sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
This is weird.
Sunny and a little hazy today, high of 75 degrees, bit cooler near the lake. Clear skies tonight with a low down to 52. Perfect day Friday, high of 80 degrees, under mostly sunny skies, again cooler near the lake. For Saturday, we do bring in a chance for showers and storms late, otherwise partly cloudy and a high of 83. Sunday, mostly cloudy, showers likely and cooler, high just 67 degrees. And Monday brings a chance of rain and a high of 68. Right now, 56 in Milwaukee. So this surprises me not at all about our friend in the afternoon, WTMJ's John Mercure, who's with us now. My brother used to, for sport, keep telemarketers on the phone. Right, which
like that sport.
You know, Nick.
Yeah, I do.
Does that sound about right?
That was one of his games. Okay.
Does that sound about right
yes,
for him?
It does.
Okay,
It
and
does.
now I'm surprised not at all to learn that you. What's the matter with you? You're not supposed to engage with people who spam your phone.
I know. So here's the deal. I'm having some work done at the house, so numbers are popping up in my phone.
Okay.
Get estimates back that I don't recognize, like a generic 414 number.
Right.
So I feel like I have to answer these calls now because it could be the painter or the guy doing my garage door. So number comes in, I answer it. Hello, this is John. How can I help you? Hey, I'm calling to check on your Medicare Part B. I said, I don't have Medicare. Yes, this is Matthew with the Healthcare Experience line.
Okay,
You have
Matt.
Medicare Part A and B. I said, no, I don't. He says, Yes, you do.
He's arguing with you over what you have?
I said, I'm not even old enough. I don't have that. I definitely don't. He said, oh, yes, you do. I said, oh, yeah? Well, what am I paying a month, and what's my coverage? Well, I have it here somewhere. I said, I don't have it. Yeah, you do.
I can't believe that tactic works on people.
And it was aggressive. It was pretty aggressive. So then I said, oh, yeah?
So John, of course, backed immediately down and hung up.
Exactly. I was polite and hung up.
Which was what you're supposed to do.
I did not. So then I said, by the way, where are you calling from? And he says, River Hill. I said, River Hills? Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
River Hills, that's it. So I said, no, you're not calling from River Hills. And he just immediately goes, you're right, I'm calling for Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I was like, what?
Okay.
What is happening right
Good.
now?
Mercure wins.
Yeah. And so I told Michelle, my wife, the guy probably liked that he was on the phone with me for 10 minutes. Because think about this guy. Everybody just hangs up on him. He can't get a sentence out. That anxiety of he's trying to say, I'm calling, click. I actually talked to dude for 10 minutes.
Wait, was Michelle near you?
And she was rolling her eyes like, what are you doing?
Who are you on the phone with, right? That's exactly what I would be getting. Like,
she was
who are you talking to?
She was like, hang up the phone. Hang up. Leave the guy alone. Do you get these calls? I've been getting more and more and more of them.
Well, because I'm not having any contracting work done, I don't answer anything. So
I generally don't either.
Right. But lately, and usually they just never leave a message or whatever. It just looks like spam, and that's that. But I've been getting one lately where there's an automated message that's left telling me, this is the service center. You need to call us immediately and speak to and use this reference number when you call the service center. Like it's never, and there's a tip off for you folks. It's never identifiable in any way.
Yep.
They never tell you like it's about what issue or it's just real nebulous to get
Generic,
you.
yeah.
But it's funny the reaction that causes. I mean, it did for you. It did for me. When I see that right away, I'm like, "But the service center. What did I do?
Do I need to take this?
Do I need to take this? Should I call them back?"
The other one I got, and I actually talked to the person, was calling about my student loan debt. Hey, I'm calling because I want to help you refinance your student loan debt. I said, I don't have student loan debt. Well, we want to help you refinance it. Did you hear me? And I graduated from college over 30 years ago. I don't have student loan debt. We want to help you with what?
That's what's funny to me is, listen, once the gig is up,
right,
like, hang up, dude.
This has got to be the worst job in America, right?
That's not a job. That's a scam.
It probably is, but this guy sounded like he was in a warehouse. I thought I heard like 1,000 keyboards clicking and 1,000 people on phones in the background. I could kind of hear like it was just like this big, huge facility. Does it ever work? How often does he get a guy that needs Medicare, Part A or B, taken care of and says, yes, thank God you called. I've been waiting for you, and then it actually works.
Well, how often does he get a guy who wants to argue with him?
I maintain
you're in a small group. Good for you guys.
I was probably the longest phone call he had all day.
Thank you, John. I'm sure.
Thank you, pal.
See, Mercure is still under the impression, though, that this guy was selling him a legitimate product or service.
You don't see that, eh?
Well, did you?
No.
He's saying, I need to talk to you about the Medicare Part B that you have or whatever. And he's like, I don't have that. The guy's insisting that he does.
No, you should just give me some more information.
Right. Well, why don't you just tell me your information? That's right. And then we'll look you up.
Yes, it'll be great.
Right.
Then we'll know for sure.
Good thing I called. You didn't even know you have this. 5:56. The business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Teddy Nichol.
Uline wants to hire 200 more employees as soon as possible for a 100 million square foot building opening this fall. It could bring on hundreds more as it starts construction on the first of 4 massive new warehouses in Kenosha County. Fiserv hopes to occupy a new global headquarters in downtown Milwaukee by the end of 2023, but it says it's still awaiting permits for the interior construction it's planning. The company's stock yesterday joined the New York Stock Exchange after previously trading on the NASDAQ. A neighborhood grill called the Edison will open in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward neighborhood later this month. The restaurant will be on North Broadway and will serve American cuisine with a spotlight on coal-fired butcher's cuts and seafood. I'm Teddy Nichol with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Your exclusive Merle Norman 4-piece summer gift with purchase is here. Shop now and enjoy travel-sized blush, waterproof mascara, eye gel, and cleansing wipes. While supplies last at Merle Norman Cosmetics Salon and Spa at Brookfield Square. Free with the purchase of 2 or more Merle Norman cosmetic products. Cosmetic accessories not included. Offer valid while supplies last at participating Merle Norman Cosmetic Studios only, beginning June 1st, 2023. Limit 1 per customer. We reserve the right to substitute individual items of gift. Promo not available at merlenorman.com.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickard for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickard on WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis.
When you say Hasslis Mattress doesn't have employees, it's not a trick just so you can jump out and yell, surprise, right?
No.
So, no surprises?
Well, now through Monday, get a $200 credit on your new Sealy Posturepedic or Beaterest mattress just for shopping local.
I'm feeling faint.
Free next day delivery, too. Surprise! Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasslis.com.
If you need a new roof, Tri-County Contracting would be proud to put one on for you. But maybe a little work will make your current roof last. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. We've had a lot of snow and ice this winter. Get Tri-County Contracting on top of your house for a worry-free roof tune-up. One price, $650. Full inspection, replacement for damaged shingles, fresh caulking and sealing. It will extend the life of your roof and give you peace of mind. Call Tri-County Contracting for a worry-free roof tune-up today.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just ahead of 6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Thursday, June 8th. Our top story, a shared revenue deal that could leave Brew City on the outside looking in.
I'm Eric Bilstead, a smoky-flavored Big Apple.
I'm Brandon Snide, a new Brewers record as the crew goes crazy.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. The roads are looking great right now, not seeing any incidents up on the board, and all of our travel times are clear as a bell. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine today with a little bit of haze, high of 75 degrees, cooler near the lake, and clear skies tonight. The low temperature down to 52. Right now up to 56 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a showdown over shared revenue.
It started with Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying that if a deal on shared revenue isn't done by the end of the week, he would propose a bill that did not contain the contentious proposals around allowing Milwaukee to raise its sales tax, with a number of stipulations attached to that by Wisconsin Republicans. But it's Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu who upped the ante, saying the legislature had sent its last proposal to Governor Evers and that a deal needed to be reached by Wednesday. Both LeMahieu and Vos saying the fight is taking time away from work on the state budget. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers did say Wednesday he's hopeful that a shared revenue deal can be made by the end of the week.
A proposal that would ban flags, signage, and what's being called divisive propaganda will be discussed at an Arrowhead Union High School Board Committee meeting today. This measure would prohibit signage in schools at Arrowhead that would promote one group over others, stating it could create isolation and division.
Victim of the hit-and-run crash on Brady Street said to be doing much better, and you'll be amazed when you hear all of the things that are wrong with him. The man whom friends call Quincy was hit early Memorial Day morning by a car. Relatives tell Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel he suffered 2 broken legs, a broken foot, broken ribs, lacerated liver, and kidneys. Now, despite that long list of injuries, organizers of the GoFundMe account for him say he is awake and doing better. Police have now released a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot that hit Quincy, but right now, no word of any arrests.
A thick smoke from Canadian wildfires continues to blanket large portions of the East Coast and areas of the Midwest, impacting tens of millions of Americans. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Iznansky.
New York City has the worst air quality on Earth right now.
And New York hit pretty hard. Many outdoor events canceled. Officials urging people to stay indoors. ABC's Andrew Dimber.
The conditions are expected to last until this weekend. A weather system which remains locked in place is circulating all that smoky air. Washington, D.C. could see some of the worst conditions today, while cities including Pittsburgh and Dayton, Ohio, are bracing for worsening conditions tomorrow. Doctors recommend minimizing time outdoors in affected areas.
The low visibility also delayed many flights. They also closed many different events, baseball games, zoos. The Broadway shows were even shut down. On a scale out of 500, New York City's air quality index hit 484 yesterday. To put that into perspective, the EPA considers anything above 300 as hazardous.
FBI plans to bring the prime suspect in the Natalie Holloway case to the U.S. to face charges today.
Joran Vandersloot has been serving time in a Peruvian prison for the 2010 murder of a college student there, but he has long been suspected in the disappearance and death of Natalie Holloway 18 years ago when the Alabama teen was on a trip to Aruba. Sources tell ABC News a flight with 8 FBI agents and 8 crew members arrived in Lima, Peru Wednesday. Vandersloot is being extradited back to the U.S. on extortion and wire fraud charges related to the Holloway case. That flight taking off after agents take him into custody, perform a medical check, and complete the necessary paperwork. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
A former sheriff's deputy in Florida accused of doing nothing during the Parkland school massacre in 2018 is now on trial. The deaths of 14 students, 3 staff members, blamed in part on former sheriff's deputy and school resource officer Scott Peterson. ABC's Derek Dennis.
The prosecutor in his opening statement characterized Scott Peterson as a coward for waiting outside while the shooter took lives. Defense attorney Mark Eiglarsh says Peterson, a 32-year veteran officer, was the first to call in a code red, but did not know where the shots were coming from, which building, or even which direction.
There was a pronounced echo and reverberation.
Survivors testifying about the horror.
I was just waiting for the police. It was the longest 20 minutes of my entire life.
Coming up, Hawaii's Kilauea spewing lava. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:04.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Hey, this is Steve Scafidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:06.
Afternoon baseball for you at American Family Field, and the Brewers go for the sweep. Brandon Snide with sports at 6:15.
Crews investigating a deadly house fire in Racine. A man found dead inside a burning home near 19th and Hayes on Wednesday. His identity has yet to be released.
It's been sending fountains of lava as high as 200 feet in the air since Wednesday and now providing quite a show.
It's been sending fountains of lava as high as 200 feet in the air since Wednesday.
That's what I said.
Providing quite a show.
All in all, it's spectacular and a great time to visit the volcano.
But Hawaii County Mayor Mitch Roth says if you have health issues, be careful.
We're very safe. The eruption is not impacting any communities, but just be aware of the air quality, and if you're sensitive to those kinds of things, it may be a good idea to wear a mask.
Kilauea is Hawaii's second largest volcano. Linda Kenyon, CBS News.
So if you had to choose, what would you choose? Wildfire smoke from Canada that's affecting the air quality, or lava flying into the air?
Well, I suppose,
it's one or the other.
Is that right? Are those my only choices?
A big honor for one of the biggest names in rap.
A legendary rapper finally honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The posthumous honor going to Tupac Shakur Wednesday. His sister Sexua on hand, representing the family and getting emotional.
Today we're not just honoring a star on the ground, but we're honoring the work and the passion that he has put into making his dreams come true.
Tupac Shakur has sold more than 75 million albums worldwide, with 5 of them going #1 on the Billboard 200 album chart. He was shot and killed in 1996. His murder officially remains unsolved. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Coming up, a lot of great ideas here, but no, it's not that simple. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Brian Z for Oconomowoc Dental Care and my guy, Dr. James Michaels. You know, summer is finally here. It's time to get ready for that warm weather. Graduations, weddings, all the travel plans that come with summer, plus your upcoming family events and all those photos and videos you're going to be taking. Make sure you have that best smile on display. Schedule your routine cleaning with my guy, Dr. Michaels. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, they're always going to make you as comfortable as possible when you're in the chair and give both you and your family an amazing smile. So whether it's a simple cleaning and exam, a more complex procedure, a teeth whitening, an implant, Dr. Michaels and the team at Oconomowoc Dental Care will take great care of you just like they take great care of me. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream, it's the reality. Dr. Michaels' fantastic staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Call his friendly and caring staff today and make your appointment.
Traffic sponsored by Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
Checking in with Debbie here at 610.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good right now, Vince. I'm not seeing really any delays, although volume's starting to pick up a little bit, as you might expect at this time of the day. But nothing major to slow us down, so we are in good shape. I'm Debbie Loziger with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a beautiful day on the way. Lots of sunshine, only a little haze. Highs around 70 lakeside, mid-70s inland. Tonight, clear skies with lows dropping into the 50s near the lake. Inland, we'll see some lows in the 40s. Friday, mostly sunny. Nice end to the week. Highs a little warmer. Lakeside in the mid-70s. Inland will top out around 80. Saturday, partly cloudy and certainly a warm day with highs in the 80s. We do have the chance on Saturday to see a few showers and storms. Looks like the best chance will be late in the day. Sunday, we'll hold on to the chance for some much-needed rain. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cooler. Highs on Sunday only in the mid to upper 60s. Monday, we'll hold on to at least a chance for a few showers with highs staying in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kristen Kershane with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Kristen's got Milwaukee temperature at 56 right now.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
I had a story in the top of the hour news about the man who was critically injured in an accident on Brady Street. He was hit by a reckless driver. Still searching for suspects in that case, and that has prompted once again conversations about, is there some larger solution for reckless driving in that pedestrian-rich area in and around Brady Street? And one of the proposals, Eric, over and over again is, what if we did like a State Street-like model in Madison where we just closed Brady Street to vehicle traffic.
Except for perhaps delivery trucks and buses, but otherwise no cars.
And so this is being talked about now at Milwaukee City Hall. And what I heard out of that testimony yesterday in committee was city leaders, city engineers basically saying, okay, we hear you, but it's not that simple.
Right. Well, so here's what DPW had to say at that committee hearing.
If someone is going to be driving at excessive speeds down a street like Brady Street, there is not a lot we can do short of some extensive closure conversations to prevent those sorts of incidents from occurring from an engineering perspective.
Right, so there's really not much else you can do. You can put up stanchions, you can put up bump outs and different things like this, but this business owner said, yeah, there's one that's always out on the street that's gone every weekend.
A little stanchions that were put in the middle of the street to say yield to pedestrians, state law, gone. Every week, ripped out by cars just flying through.
So they put in those little signs, those like tall, narrow signs that
say,
like
a pop-up that makes you, is supposed to make you slow down.
Gone.
Instead, we're plowing through them.
Right. So Bob Bauman's the chair of the Public Works Committee, which held this hearing yesterday. And
what
by the way,
not the chair of over there?
Your guy.
Bauman's the de facto mayor.
Right. But and they had a police lieutenant on, Robert Teal. And Bauman said, okay, well, if you start moving traffic, where is it going to go? You're going to see issues like you've seen outside of Water Street when you shut down Water Street.
You have seen some spillover of vehicles and disorder into the adjacent neighborhoods, have you not?
More from Teal?
Have you not experienced that effect?
No, we've absolutely experienced that effect.
Yeah, so you're going to see it in other areas. So then, okay, well, those neighborhoods would have to deal with that. I think it's about like 70 parking spots that you'd potentially lose on Brady Street. So those 70 spots. I have to admit, whenever I go to Brady, I don't park on Brady anyway. I'm oftentimes parking a block or two away just to avoid the congestion.
And it's hard enough to find a spot there. And for the folks who live a block off of Brady Street, they're very concerned with, okay, so you're going to dump all this traffic now into our even smaller residential streets where, yes, by nature of how narrow they are and how many cars are parked up around there, you would have to drive slower. But what if you don't?
Right, and you heard from that DPW, the only real way to curb the speeding would be to shut down the road entirely. Now, maybe you could throw up some speed bumps and do some different things, but still being discussed at this point.
Sports is up next. It's brought to you by Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc, your destination dealer.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson in Oconomowoc is ready for summer. It is packed with all kinds of fun, whether you're a rider or not. From rides to bike nights, there's always something for everyone. Don't forget, the 120th Homecoming Festival is this year, July 13th through the 16th, with 45 vendors, 23 bands, and of course, Harley-Davidsons. You won't want to miss it. Like and follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and online at wishd.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
I'm Sandy Max, and I'm a big fan of public television. Did you know that Milwaukee PBS is celebrating 65 years of serving southeastern Wisconsin? And it is your support that makes this possible. All this week, Milwaukee PBS is celebrating summer with a series of concerts and specials. Tonight at 8, watch Jerry App's Food and Memories. Raised on a Wisconsin farm, Jerry shares memories and recipes. Milwaukee PBS, a community treasure for 65 years.
For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After being the hero on Tuesday night against Baltimore, Joey Weimer was back at it again at American Family Field Wednesday night with not one, not two, but 5 RBIs, including this deep shot in the 7th inning.
Hit down the left field line. It is back. It is gone. A 2-homer game for Joey Weimer, and the Brewers have hung a 10 spot on Baltimore.
Laying Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ as the Brewers go on to win Game 2 of 3 against the Orioles, this one by a final score of 10-2. Corbin Burns got the start, and he looked to be back in his Cy Young form, tossing 8 innings, allowing no runs, and striking out 9 batters. But the story of this one was rookie Joey Weimer, who finished the day going 4 for 4, 5 runs batted in, 2 home runs, and a Brewers rookie record of 11 total bases.
I think players get hot, and it maybe took him a little while, and he's obviously in a really good stretch right now where he's seeing the ball well, getting good pitches to hit, and not missing them. It's producing a lot of offense and doing big things for us.
The Brewers will look for the series sweep later today. Coverage of Orioles and Brewers gets underway right here on WTMJ at 12:35. To the NFL, where things in Green Bay are looking a bit different this time of year. For a change, the starting quarterback is participating in the offseason program and starting to turn some heads on his connection with second-year wide receiver Romeo Doubs.
I think it's easy when you've got a really good player. They just kind of make it happen. It's easy to get them the ball. He's catching it. Romeo's catching it really well right now. He's running really good routes, and he's getting open. So it's easy to throw it to open guys, but he's been doing a really good job. And, we've had that connection. We've done a lot of stuff last year, so just continuing that connection has been great, but he's doing a great job.
The Packers will conclude their organized team activities later today. Lastly, to the NBA, where Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets reclaim the 2-1 series lead over the Miami Heat with the 109-94 Game 3 victory. Jokic and teammate Jamal Murray became the first teammates in NBA Finals history to record a 30-point triple-double. Denver will look to add to their lead with Game 4 scheduled for Friday night.
Coming up, the worst air quality on the planet. New York City, 6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Join me every Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin, where we check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots. Great stuff to do all around the great state of Wisconsin, from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan. This week, we're joined by Milwaukee Food and City Tours' Teresa Nemitz and Discover Rhinelander's Rachel Bowler. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at noon, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for LAK Group. According to Career Builder and a survey there, the average cost of a bad hire is $50,000. Those of you who are in that part of work in your business, you know how hard that can be, and you also know you can't afford to make a mistake in hiring, particularly now when it's hard to find good people. Let LAK Group help you in your recruiting efforts. Their proprietary recruiting process fuses their expertise, resources, and technologies with your company's needs. They can help you identify strategies and solutions that will boost the company's productivity. Let LAK Group's executive recruiting services help you find great candidates. Visit transformingcareers.com. That's LAK Group. Discover your human advantage.
It's David Nason for Current Electric. They've been providing 5-star electrical service for 40 years, striving to be southeastern Wisconsin's first choice in renewable energy. Discover the latest benefits of going solar at Current Electric's Solar Block Party. Enjoy food, games, and prizes, and learn how you can save on your energy bill too. Join me at the Solar Block Party this Saturday, June 10th, from 11 to 1:30 in West Allis at 2141 South 55th Street. Contact their superheroes today at callcurrent.com.
Here's to soaking up surf culture on Wisconsin's fresh coast. Here's to beaches designed for people of all abilities. To sand between your toes and happiness in your heart. Here's to trading skylines for endless Wisconsin shorelines. And to ending each day with smiles all around. Here's to those who Wisconsin. Start your summer getaway at travelwisconsin.com.
Traffic is brought to you by Crest Cadillac. Find them at crestcadillac.com. Crest Cadillac of Brookfield, located on Capitol Drive, just west of Interstate 41. Discover Crest Cadillac at crestcadillac.com.
6:21 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in with Debbie here.
All right, looking pretty good right now. No major delays around the rest of the entire system, I should say. Even the construction zones are easing up a bit. We've got a lot of the closures being pulled back, so we should be in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today from meteorologist Kristen Kershane. Sunny, a little bit hazy, and a high of 75 degrees. Cooler near the lake. Clear skies tonight and a low down to 52. For Friday, mostly sunny, 74 lakeside, 80 degrees inland. Now, Saturday, we bring in a chance for showers and storms. We could certainly use the rain with a high of 83 degrees. Those showers and storms late in the day and into the evening. And Sunday, mostly cloudy with showers likely and much cooler. High of just 67. Monday right now looks like a chance for rain and a high of 68. 56 degrees, our current temp in Milwaukee. Smoke on the Hudson, smoke all over Manhattan, smoke over New York, smoke over the eastern seaboard. It's smoky.
It's everywhere.
It smells like a barbecue gone awry.
Yes, holy cow.
A barbecue gone awry.
Did you see, we've had this haze here in Wisconsin for like weeks, it seems like. It's been at least 2 weeks, right, where we've been dealing with this like haziness.
And it was largely a novelty for most folks, with the exception of those who really have some pretty tough breathing issues. We had a couple of air quality sort of alert days where the air quality was pretty tough, but that is kind of largely cleared out for our area, and it has settled in big time over New York.
Yes, absolutely, the Big Apple.
New York City has the worst air quality on Earth right now.
It's Brian Niznansky, the worst on the planet. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of how bad it is. So on a scale out of 500, New York City's air quality index hit 484 on Wednesday. That's the worst on the planet.
So you want to be not 500, okay?
No, and you don't want to be 400 either, by the way.
Low score is better in this game.
The EPA considers anything above 300 hazardous. So it stinks. They've been trying to tell people to stay inside. They've been canceling baseball games, canceling Broadway shows.
Yeah, that one I don't understand. That's an indoor activity unless you're concerned about people trying to get to the shows and whatnot, but they're telling folks to largely stay inside, right?
This lady?
I think it's kind of crazy because it's like all the way from Canada, but I mean, there's nothing we can really do, so I feel like it's just live your life.
I guess so.
Could I just for a second? Have you looked at a map? All the way from Canada.
I think it's kind of crazy because it's like all the way from Canada.
All the way from like Canada, which is like a foreign country that is far away from here?
Probably a good drive away, maybe.
Right.
It's not that far. So among those,
not somewhere close.
Amy Mercure, John's daughter, lives in New York.
That's
City.
right. She's out that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she was on Wisconsin's Afternoon News talking about it. This is my favorite part when he asked her. He asked her to what's it smell like, and you can hear her taking a sniff of the air.
Doing a little reporting.
Does it smell like a bonfire, Ames, or does it smell different?
Different? I would say, I mean, I don't have a dog's nose, but I would say it's a little bit different. That's the closest thing I can relate it to, though.
There you go.
So, not a bonfire. She took a good sniff there.
All right, so what about the health of this?
It's surprisingly dangerous to have this level of particulate matter in the air.
Yeah, you don't want this. This is not, and so when you see the people with the masks, I know that there's a lot of polarizing thoughts on masks. Wearing one probably is not going to be a bad idea if you are on the East Coast where you're just blanketed in
I admit, before I really investigated the severity of this, when some of the reporters on the national shows yesterday morning, Eric, were popping up and they're in masks for their live reports. All right, that seems a bit alarmist. But then you see the pictures.
It looked like Mars.
You can't see the skyline back in there.
Right. Just orange. So that was Dr. Christina Oreo. She says the smoke could have some serious health effects if you are breathing it in.
We're seeing a lot of patients coming in for asthma treatment, for chest pain, and it may be linked to what's going on in the environment. So do seek medical attention if you feel like your symptoms are severe.
I have to admit, I even noticed it around here, and we haven't had anything even close to what they were dealing with yesterday on the East Coast. But like I noticed it where I was definitely sneezing more. One lady I was talking to last weekend, she's like, I can't smell anything. Like she was actually losing some of her senses just because her body wasn't used to just breathing in that, I don't want to say toxic air, but just the quality is not what we're used to.
Well, and it can, again, for people who have severe breathing issues, they're really in trouble. And just for anybody else, if you're not getting the amount of oxygen into your lungs, that's going to affect your entire body. So not for nothing, but it is serious. Most people probably can go about their business, unless, of course, you have outdoor activities. Like, for example, you mentioned Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Mets
the
and
Yankees?
Yankees?
Yankees for sure. They're playing the White Sox. That game was canceled last night. So they're going to play a
For no reason, the
doubleheader.
fans couldn't see the field.
It's dangerous. Ball could hit you with no idea. So what's the deal? How long is this going to last?
The conditions are expected to last until this weekend. A weather system, which remains locked in place, is circulating all that smoky air. Washington, D.C. could see some of the worst conditions today, while cities including Pittsburgh and Dayton, Ohio, are bracing for worsening conditions tomorrow. Doctors recommend minimizing time outdoors in affected areas.
And kudos to Niznansky, because he's the one that we asked him about this the other day, and he says there's a couple of different wildfires taking place. There are the ones that are in the normal wildfire zone,
Pacific Northwest
of Canada, and that's what we were getting. But then most recently, it was this push from Quebec that was bringing in this other air, and that's what they're seeing on the East Coast right now.
Just waiting for somebody in Washington to start proposing sanctions on Canada. Hey, Canada, what gives? A little help here.
Yeah.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was up on the day, up 92 points to 33,665. Both the NASDAQ and S&P 500 dropped. NASDAQ down to 13,105. That was off more than 170 points. And the S&P 500 down about 16 to 42.68. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
I think it's kind of crazy because it's like all the way from Canada.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Omaha Steaks. Easy way to make your father happy, omahasteaks.com. Pick out a great gift for your father right now. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com and use promo code WTMJ at checkout. There's no shopping, no wrapping, and the steaks are delivered right to your dad's door. I've done this for my son-in-laws. I've done this for my fathers. Easy way to say thanks, Dad, for all the things you do for me. Dads are the heroes we love. You know this. Whether they're fathers, stepfathers, fathers-in-law, father figures, always ready to step up when we need them most. For Father's Day, we're listening to what real dads have to say. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Some heroes wear capes, others use tool belts, some even wear socks with sandals. No matter how your dad dresses, show him some love this year with the only gift that's as unforgettable as he is. omahasteaks.com. $30 off when you visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code WTMJ at checkout. Minimum order may be required.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Don't you just love the WTMJ Fix-It Show? Hi, this is Matt Elliott from Elliott's Ace Hardware. When you think Fix-It, first you think about Saturday mornings on WTMJ. Then you gotta be thinking Elliott's Ace Hardware. Where else can you find such great staff, big brands, and all the stuff, and I'm talking all the stuff, to get your Fix-It done? So enjoy the WTMJ Fix-It Show on Saturday morning. And then head to Elliott's Ace in Elm Grove, West Dallas, Pewaukee, and Muskego.
At 6:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, Milwaukee could be left out of a shared revenue bill.
I'm Eric Bilstead, a smoky Big Apple.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Brewers activating the offense for a big night.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Everything's looking great out on the roads. Full freeway speeds, light volume, nothing to complain about. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A little bit of haze today, otherwise sunny skies and a high of 75 degrees. Will be cooler near the lake tonight. Clear skies and a low down to 52. And looking ahead for your Friday, almost perfect, mostly sunny. High of 80 degrees, 74 lakeside right now, 56.
New York City's LaGuardia Airport now on a ground stop for all incoming flights due to poor visibility from clouds of Canadian wildfire smoke drifting toward the Atlantic.
The conditions are expected to last until this weekend. A weather system, which remains locked in place, is circulating all that smoky air. Washington, D.C. could see some of the worst conditions today, while cities including Pittsburgh and Dayton, Ohio, are bracing for worsening conditions tomorrow. Doctors recommend minimizing time outdoors in affected areas.
ABC's Andrew Dimber, people in 16 states being urged to stay indoors or mask up. ABC News learning former President Trump was sent an official target letter informing him that he's the focus of a special counsel investigation into his handling of classified documents. And the FBI said to bring the key suspect in the disappearance of Natalie Holloway back to the U.S. Joran Vandersloot is being extradited from Peru, where he's been serving time for killing a college student there. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee could be left out, at least in part of the state's shared revenue plan. Lawmakers have been working on this package that would send money to communities across the state. GOP and Democratic leaders have been at odds over how to raise a sales tax in Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says if they don't get to a deal by the end of the week, he would support removing many of the Milwaukee provisions from the package.
If we do not get a deal this week, I think we should strip out all of the Milwaukee things, and we will just focus on the balance of the bill, which is repealing the personal property tax and making sure that every community around the state is not held hostage by Milwaukee's problems.
Now, Voss and Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu met with the governor earlier this week. Voss has said that they will pause talk on the full state budget conversation until this shared revenue piece is completed. Democratic Madison State Senator Melissa Agard on News 3 Now.
When we're looking at the whole budget as opposed to different pieces of the budget, we're able to actually fit those puzzle pieces together in a better way. So splintering different topics off feels a little bit concerning to me.
Now, Evers had said this week that he remains optimistic a deal will be reached.
A victim of that hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's Brady Street is said to be doing much better, but wait till you hear everything that is wrong with him. The man whom friends call Quincy was hit early Memorial Day. Early in the morning, relatives telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel he suffered 2 broken legs, a broken foot, broken ribs, lacerated liver, and kidneys. And despite all of those injuries, organizers of his GoFundMe account say he is awake and doing better. Police have since released a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot, whom they believe hit Quincy, but there's been no word right now of any arrests.
Several Milwaukee County municipalities taking advantage of a new state law to significantly increase the cost that comes with reckless driving tickets. But Glendale Police Chief Mark Ferguson tells TMJ4 News it's not going to solve the problem on its own.
Some of the people that I think are driving recklessly, I don't think they really care about citations or fines, so I'm not sure how much of that would help.
So Glendale has one of the lowest costs for first offense reckless driving. It's about $313. It's something Ferguson hopes will change.
Pope Francis awake and alert after a good first night in the hospital following a 3-hour surgery.
Rest now for the pontiff following a procedure to remove intestinal scar tissue and repair a hernia. Meanwhile, the faithful, like this tourist from Belgium, have been praying at the Vatican for his quick recovery, but they're mindful of his age.
He's an old man, just like you, me, as we are older. We get sick, and then I find that if it's too sick to stay on, he has to go.
A spokesman at Rome's Gemelli Hospital says there were no complications. Francis is expected to remain there for several days. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
Coming up, an alternative way to treat anxiety in children. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34. News is sponsored by Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells, your grown-up getaway.
Enjoy adventure and relaxation in your new summer ride. It's Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells Cruisin' the Dells giveaways, where on June 24th, you'll have a chance to win a brand new GMC Acadia, along with $10,000 in cash and $1,000 in rewards play. Earn entries all month long. And remember, the more you play, the more chances you have to win. It's the Cruisin' the Dells giveaways, June 24th at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells. Must be 21. See Ho Chunk Gaming representative for more details.
A unique blend of jazz and rock vocal music that has been celebrated by generations. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, performing live Friday, July 7th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming.
You made me so.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.
And when I die,
a renaissance of unbridled talent. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, July 7th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Must be 21 to attend concert.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix-It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
Superheroes used to be bright and flashy. Now they're all dark and edgy.
creepy. They remind me of the Warner bedroom from Penny Mustard.
Mysterious, moody, unhinged.
Literally unhinged. The exposed hinges are a major design in this franchise.
The Warner bedroom is super.
Incredible.
A wonder.
A marvel.
And it's made in America, Captain.
The Warner bedroom collection with queen bed, 8-drawer dresser, mirror, and 1-drawer nightstand starting at $67.09 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
The new Raid Essentials Light Trap uses light to attract, then trap flying insects like fruit flies and mosquitoes. For insecticide protection that's people and pet friendly, get new Raid Essential Light Trap.
Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Brewers rookie goes nuts at the Yard, and we've got more baseball for you this afternoon. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 6:45.
Nuts in a good way. Yeah. A new clinic in Hales Corners.
Yes, that should be mentioned.
New clinic in Hales Corners hoping to bring a fresh take on
crazy.
And now we're doing a mental health story. See, now
right.
I was trying to turn and not let you get there.
You were helping me, and then I didn't help myself.
All right, so
please on to the mental health.
This is a great story. There's a new clinic in Hales Corners. It's hoping to bring a fresh take on mental health.
The goal of the LA Mental Health Network is to destigmatize mental health treatment and to help make it more accessible. Clinical Director Colleen Christensen tells WTMJ,
"We have inclusive office spaces that allow for authenticity both of our therapists and of our clients."
Christensen says she's also trying to make the clinic a healthy place for its employees.
I really want a reputation for therapists in the community to see this as a place where we are changing that work culture.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
So are we treating our kids who suffer from anxiety in the right way?
A new study in the journal Pediatrics found while more kids are being diagnosed with anxiety disorders,
we did see a decreasing trend in the number that were receiving therapy.
Dr. Laura Chavez with Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Anxiety disorders can be best treated when therapy is combined with medication.
And she says the findings indicate we may be over-medicating them.
Kids do better when it's combined with therapy.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
We always like those stories about that average Jane or John Doe who got up one morning, went about their day, then all of a sudden saved a life. Got another one for you, an everyday superhero next.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:38.
Jump into summer fun when the Brewers take on the Pirates Friday, June 16th through Sunday the 18th. Start the adventure on Indiana Jones Day on the 17th and get a Craig Council bobble with a theme night ticket. Then take home a Brewers bucket hat giveaway for the first 10,000 fans ages 21 and up on Father's Day, Sunday the 18th. Presented by Miller Lite. Get your seats at Brewers.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma was in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura. AzuraLiving.com.
Checking in with Deb here at 20 minutes before 7.
Yeah, it's looking actually pretty good right now, Vince. We've got one issue. It's a broken down vehicle, really, out on 94 eastbound, right near Pewaukee Lake. It's just past, about a mile past the ramp from Highway 83. It's off on the left shoulder. It's a little bit of a distraction, but for the most part, everything else is looking great. And while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you happen to see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a little cool out the door this morning, but this afternoon's going to feel good. Highs around 70, lakeside mid-70s. Inland, lots of sunshine, just a little hazy outside today. Tonight, clear with inland lows in the 40s. Near the lake, will drop into the 50s. Friday, mostly sunny, a little warmer. Highs near the lake and the low to mid-70s. Inland will top out around 80. Saturday will be a warm day with highs in the 80s, partly cloudy with a chance for showers and some thunderstorms, mainly late in the day on Saturday. Sunday, mostly cloudy, showers looking likely and much cooler with highs only in the 60s for the second half of the weekend. Monday, we've got the chance for rain lingering, high temperatures in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kristen Kershane with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
We're at 56 degrees right now.
We always like to celebrate the everyday superhero, right? Those that are among us, those just like me and you, not the first responders, not the police officers. We obviously celebrate them, but I'm talking about, Vince, that average guy or girl
Just a guy.
just decided one day to change a life. Yes, our everyday superhero, thanks to Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Let's celebrate a 19-year-old girl for her quick action in saving her co-worker's life. Lillian Flanders is her name. She's 19 years old. She saved a man's life because of CPR training she took in high school years earlier. This happened at Doubletree Hotel in Canada, at a Doubletree Hotel, thanks to WNEM for doing this story out of Michigan. She found her coworker, Rusty Publau, slumped over his desk and unresponsive. So she
Rusty.
just walked into the room. There he was, done, just out, unconscious. He says if it wasn't for her, he would not be here. She said she learned CPR a few years earlier. She immediately went into action, got him to the floor, started to do compressions.
3 years since I actually got the training done. So I'm just glad that it clicked when I saw him and I got right to it.
Not only did she get right to it, she saved his life. The guy says, he's like, I would not be here had it not been for her. I don't even remember. The guy just got down there and started doing, was working. Then all of a sudden, next thing he knows, he's in the hospital. Here she was able to get him to the ground, do the CPR, remembered from what she had learned in high school years earlier, and saved this guy's life. They honored her with a big ceremony and a key to the city of Flanders after she saved this life. Yes.
Nice job, Lillian.
So that's not easy. That's not actually the one thing that I've learned about CPR from the training that I've taken. I've never, luckily at this moment, had to do it, is that you just need to take control. That the whole idea behind a CPR is that if you see someone down, you need to take control. You point at one person, you call 911, you point at another, hey, you go get the AED, I'll do the compressions, but you just need one person to lead, and it can make all the difference.
It's one of those things where we say all the time, you look around and you say, somebody has to do something, and you realize, I'm somebody.
Yes. So congratulations. Thank you, Lillian Flanders, a 19-year-old from Bay City, just across the border there in Canada, for saving a life. She is our everyday superhero, thanks to Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. I always thought Vince Lombardi came up with that famous sports nugget, but it turns out he borrowed it from a college coach. And now I'm going to borrow it too. Because when there are 10 or 20 offers on a property, there's only one winner. In today's inventory-starved real estate market, you need a Lombardi-level mortgage coach. One who has all the best plays in the playbook. Going with your bank for your pre-approval is like playing in a professional playoff game with the JV coach at the helm. The Lombardi-level coaches at AccuNet are called senior loan consultants, and each one has been trained by me to help you and your real estate agent work as one team to deliver the one and only thing that matters, winning. So if you've been losing with your flimsy bank pre-approval, trade up today to a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval and a Lombardi-level game plan. And if you're just getting started, why not start with the best? Click on the blue button today and get started with your winning game plan at accunet.com.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com. Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Joey Weimer hit 2 home runs. Willie Adames returned to action, and the Brewers rolled the Orioles by a final score of 10-2 at American Family Field on Wednesday night. Milwaukee has now won 5 of their last 6 games and will look for the series sweep later today. First pitch is set for 1:10. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets reclaimed the NBA Finals Series lead, cooling down the Heat by a final of 109-94 in Game 3 in Miami. Jokic and Jamal Murray became the first teammates in Finals history to both record 30-point triple-doubles. Denver will look to add to the lead with a Game 4 scheduled for Friday night.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
Nothing says summer like baseball in Milwaukee, and the Brewers, well, they have given us, the fans, quite the experience over the first 2 months to begin the summer season. Some highs, some lows, but certainly some fun mixed in there with, of course, some memorable moments. One of them happening last night. Joey Wiemer, sporting his new haircut, set a new Brewers record with 11 total bases en route to another Brewers win and another Brewers series win. During part of the season, the growing pains with the Brewers rookies has clearly been evident. But credit to the Brewers for not only preaching patience, but allowing them to learn along the way. Craig Counsell, a handful of times, going out of his way to explain the type of person and player Joey Wiemer is. That patience the organization has displayed is starting to pay off on both sides of the game. Wiemer, who started the year playing right field, has slid over to center field after the Garrett Mitchell injury and has done so flawlessly. 0 errors and a couple of assists have secured an important position for the Brewers going forward. At the plate, Wiemer began the season with a couple of flashes, a couple of hits here and there, but overall he hasn't been very good. That is up until now. And again, patience. 2 home runs last night, 5 RBIs, a Brewers record, and that is exactly why Craig Counsell and Matt Arnold should be applauded for the patience they have displayed. A Brewers record, a handful of wins as of late, and a few home runs prove Milwaukee had it right all along.
Are you ready to step up to the plate and test your skills?
Hey,
Join Steve every Friday at 10:35 for a rousing round of virtual baseball to win awesome prizes.
Oh, baby.
Steve Scaffidi's Virtual Baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Every Friday at 10:35.
Vince Vitrano here for Johnson & Sons Paving. The front door to your small business, it's not the door, it's the parking lot. If that's all banged up and potholed, that is not the first impression that you want to give to your valued customers who've come out to see you. Fix it up or rebuild the whole thing with Johnson & Sons Paving. Johnson & Sons Paving, quality, family-owned, local company you can trust. And they do everything in-house. They'll help you design your project start to finish. They even mix their own asphalt so you don't have those supply chain issues slowing down your project. They're so proud of the work they do. That's their family name right there on the company. And there are all kinds of Johnsons working over there. I've met many of them. You won't find any subcontractors. When you hire Johnson & Sons, that's who you get every step of the way. It's a one-stop shop for projects of any size, residential or commercial. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Gabe Colasari is the IT manager at R.J. Schinner, the redistribution specialist. Gabe, R.J. Schinner is a Wisconsin-headquartered company, just like James Imaging Systems.
Yes, we're also nationwide, so we're able to get support at all our other locations that we have with partners that they've partnered with.
Simply put, Gabe, you can trust James Imaging Systems here, there, or just about anywhere.
Yep, they're the imaging professionals. It's something that we don't have to worry about, so yeah, we want that trusted partnership.
James Imaging Systems, Toshiba copier printers, managed print services, document management software.
It's a one-stop shop. We have other projects we're going to be working with James Imaging on besides just printers.
Start your trusted partnership with James Imaging Systems today, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Great grilling is easy at Sendik's. This week, natural pork tenderloin and USDA boneless skinless chicken thighs are just $2.99 per pound. Happy grilling from Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
10 minutes before 7 o'clock. Coming up next.
What are your plans for the future? Spend as much time possible with Diane before she leaves?
Lloyd Dobler coming to Milwaukee, Deb.
Yes, I saw that, and I'm excited about it, too.
We're going to talk about it with Jen Lotta coming up. What do you have on the roads?
All right. Well, northbound on 41, backing up a bit from Wisconsin Avenue up to about Watertown Plank Road. For the most part, though, everything else is actually looking pretty good. Not seeing any other incidents up on the board. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Sunshine and a little bit of haze mixed in there today with a high of 75 degrees. Cooler near the lake. Clear tonight in your Storm Team forecast from meteorologist Kristen Kershane. She's got a low temperature of 52. Friday looks perfect. 80 degrees your inland high. 74 at the lake under mostly sunny skies. Saturday partly cloudy, but then a chance for showers and storms coming in late and a high of 83. Then we cool off. Sunday mostly cloudy with showers likely and a high of just 67 degrees. Monday's high right now looks like 68 with a chance of rain. In Milwaukee right now, 56 degrees. The word iconic is overused, but it applies to this scene in that movie, right? You hear this song, and there's Lloyd Dobler with the boombox raised high.
Now they'd get you arrested if you did that, Rowie.
It would. We should talk about that. The courtship of Diane Court.
What are your plans for the future? Spend as much time possible with Diane before she leaves? Seriously, Lloyd. I'm totally and completely serious.
John Cusack's character, Lloyd, in Say Anything.
I got a question. You guys know so much about women. How come you're here at, like, a gas and sip on a Saturday night completely alone drinking beers? No women anywhere.
By choice, man. That's right. It's a conscious choice. It's a choice, man. Choosing to be here.
Choosing to be here, man.
Gas and sip.
The 1989 Cameron Crowe classic romantic comedy will be shown at the Riverside Theater this fall. Cusack is coming along. He does a post-show Q&A as well. Jen Lotta, our teammate at ESPN Milwaukee, with us this morning. Now, Jen, you're younger than me, so I wasn't sure if this film would be in your wheelhouse, but then you sent me back a picture of you in the Lloyd with the Boombox T-shirt. So you're on board.
First of all, I love graphic tees. So first movie I ever saw at the movie theater, Say Anything. First movie I ever saw at the movie theater. A little mature, if I'm going to be honest.
I was going to say, wow.
A little mature subject matter for that one. It was, and I have loved it ever since. And did you know that In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel was not the original song in that scene? It was a totally different song.
How could it be anything else?
And then they dubbed In Your Eyes over later on because they didn't love the vibe. I had looked it up because I had seen that story before. It was something completely different.
Like Brown-Eyed Girl or something that doesn't make any sense.
Cameron Crowe really wanted Elvis Costello to do that song, and he saw an early screening of it being played, and he thought, no, this isn't right. And then they went ahead and dubbed In Your Eyes by Peter Gabriel over it. So that was a nice little nugget about.
Did that
movie.
scene change your life?
I don't know that it changed my life, but you're right when you think of iconic 80s. You know, also when you think of like the end of The Breakfast Club, and Judd Nelson has his hand in the air walking out on the football field. Like that's one of those snapshots that sticks with you from that generation of movies. So, listen, John Cusack I thought was so cute, and he was so earnest in that movie that you just had this idea of like, gosh, if I can just date somebody that earnest.
Why not Lloyd?
Yeah, right? Although, tell me that the other scene from that movie that doesn't stand out to you is when his friend is singing the song about her ex-boyfriend. Joe lies. He lies when he cries. Like, I can't even sing it anymore, but like, it's such a ridiculous. That'll never be me. That'll never be me, right? I mean, that was a great scene also.
So have you ever done these shows before? I've never done this where you go to a venue and watch a movie with the actor, then do a Q&A after.
I went to this one. Must have been it was pre-COVID. Must have been 4 years ago or so, and same deal. They show the film, and then Cusack comes out, and someone moderates a Q&A with him, and he also takes questions from the audience. So not just about Say Anything, but he'll talk about, like whatever else, and people were sometimes shouting out movie names. For me, my Cusack is Better Off Dead.
Oh, really?
It's not listed among his favorites, and he really didn't talk much about that one. But that's the one for me.
Serendipity, High Fidelity. I think those are probably my top 3 Cusack movies. I did that once with The Princess Bride. Now, we didn't watch it with the cast of The Princess Bride, but it was during COVID, and they pulled the cast together. And then they... I think they maybe read the lines. They read the script,
Yep.
And then they did a Q&A afterwards. And as a kid, again, from that generation, watching The Princess Bride being read by Robin Wright and Manny Patankas. I never know how to pronounce his last Patanka. How do you pronounce his last name?
Patankin.
It's just easy. Thank you, but it is easier to say Inigo Montoya, isn't it? I mean, if we're being honest, it's just refer to him as Inigo Montoya. So I did that once, and that was really cool. It was on the computer over Zoom, so fun little get together.
One of my takeaways, which the value added is having Cusack there to talk about things, was he talked about that time, and you mentioned the Brat Pack, right? How different it was for a child actor like him. Like, he was still going to high school. And then also, like, in his free time, appearing in these films. And
his sister, too.
Yeah,
Joan,
right?
obviously,
Joan.
yep.
And, so they were a little bit more sort of normal kids than today. Like, once you're a Disney star, you're out of society.
Sure,
right?
and then cross your fingers
just
for
like
your survival.
One day he's in high
honestly.
school, and the next day he's starring in a movie.
Am I right in remembering that his family was also in the theater? I know the Gyllenhaals, that was their big thing, right? The Gyllenhaals, Maggie and Jake, their parents were in the theater in drama, and so that kind of ushered the children in as well. But I feel like the Cusack family had some ties to that space, the theater and whatnot, and that also helped their transition into that, helped get them in there. And they grew up, I think, in Chicago. I think they're just down the road from us in Northern Illinois.
I hear that Joe, I don't know about John, but Joan is like around in Chicago, like is seen in places and just kind of around. So highly recommend if this is in your wheelhouse. It doesn't come until fall. I think it's a November date, and tickets aren't even on sale yet. But when they do, they'll be at PapstTheaterGroup.com. Lloyd Dobler, as portrayed by John Cusack, can say anything.
I gave him a pen.
Oh.
I have hidden your keys.
Bought or processed, or buy anything sold or processed, or process anything sold, bought, or processed, or repair anything sold, bought, or processed. As a career, I don't want to do that.
I gave Jen my heart. She gave me a pen.
Well, that happens sometimes. Traffic was sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. We had the WTMJ 5-day forecast brought to you by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. And the business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Teddy Nichol.
A new restaurant called The Edison will soon open in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward. It'll serve American cuisine with a spotlight on coal-fired butcher's cuts and seafood. The same operators also run other local restaurants, including Onesto and Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria. Uline wants to hire 200 more employees as soon as possible for a 100 million square foot building opening this fall. It could bring on hundreds more as it starts construction on the first of 4 massive new warehouses in Kenosha County. Fiserv hopes to occupy its new global headquarters in downtown Milwaukee by the end of 2023, but it says it's still awaiting permits for the interior construction it's planning. The company's stock yesterday joined the New York Stock Exchange after previously trading on the NASDAQ. I'm Teddy Nichol with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
What's the way to build your wealth?
While going over a new client's statements from one of the big financial firms, I was floored when I read that firm does not offer tax or estate planning advice. Because we know that saving money for our clients on their taxes, legally and well within the law, can make a huge difference in their financial plan. If you want to wisely build your wealth, it is my firm opinion that without a comprehensive approach, you're going to be at a big disadvantage. At Financial Strategies, Inc., we're taking a deep dive and creating comprehensive strategies that develop your retirement, investment, and your tax and estate planning. And all under a fee-only structure that means the success we care about most is yours. I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to FinancialStrategiesInc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Hi, this is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner here to tell you about Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you really have to do what a couple of my family members did. They went to Built Right. When you get to the store, you're going to find a 45,000 square foot showroom with thousands of furniture items in stock plus 500 mattresses. This includes a huge selection of USA and Amish-made furniture plus better quality imported furniture for any size home. Also, check out Built Right's over 48 models of in-stock power lift recliners. Special and custom orders are much faster in 2023. Free in-store design services available too. And now's a great time to get to Built Right as their Memorial Day sale is extended through Saturday. Built Right, voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association's 2023 National Retailer of the Year Award. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, be sure to tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Veterans benefits denied? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Thursday, June 8th. Our top story, a shared revenue deal that could leave the Brew City on the outside looking in.
I'm Eric Bilstead, a smoky-flavored Big Apple.
I'm Brandon Snod, a new Brewers record as the crew goes crazy.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Northbound on 41, seeing backups from about Blue Mound Road up past Watertown Plank Road. We've also got a pretty good ride for the rest of the area. A little bit of a tap the brakes coming out of the stadium interchange on westbound 94. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Sunny and a little hazy today with a high of 75 degrees. Cooler near the lake and clear skies tonight with a low down to 52. At 56 right now in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the showdown continues over shared revenue.
It started with Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying that if a deal on shared revenue isn't done by the end of the week, he would propose a bill that did not contain the contentious proposals around allowing Milwaukee to raise its sales tax, with a number of stipulations attached to that by Wisconsin Republicans. But it's Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu who upped the ante, saying the legislature had sent its last proposal to Governor Evers and that a deal needed to be reached by Wednesday. Both LeMahieu and Vos saying the fight is taking time away from work on the state budget. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Governor Tony Evers said Wednesday he remains hopeful the shared revenue deal can be made by the end of the week.
In Waukesha County right now, a proposal that would ban flags, signage, and what's being called divisive propaganda is being discussed at Arrowhead Union High School, their board committee meeting. They're taking place right now this morning. The measure would prohibit signage that promotes one group over others at the school, stating that it can create isolation and division.
A victim of the hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's Brady Street. They say he's doing much better, but there's a lot that he is working through. The man whom friends call Quincy was hit by a vehicle early Memorial Day morning. Now, relatives told the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel Quincy suffered 2 broken legs, a broken foot, broken ribs, lacerated liver, and kidneys. And despite all those injuries, organizers of his GoFundMe page right now, they say that he is awake and doing better. Police have since released a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot that they believe hit Quincy. Right now, they have not announced any arrests.
In New York City,
it smelled like a tire was like a burning tire.
A thick smoke from Canadian wildfires continues to blanket large portions of the Big Apple and the East Coast, impacting tens of millions of Americans.
New York City has the worst air quality on Earth right now.
Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Iznansky. Many outdoor events canceled. Officials urging people to stay indoors across the region. ABC's Andrew Dimber.
The conditions are expected to last until this weekend. A weather system which remains locked in place is circulating all that smoky air. Washington, D.C. could see some of the worst conditions today, while cities including Pittsburgh and Dayton, Ohio, are bracing for worsening conditions tomorrow. Doctors recommend minimizing time outdoors in affected areas.
As of now, just to put this into a little bit of perspective as far as how bad the quality has been, on a scale of 500, New York City's air quality index hit 484 yesterday. Anything over 300 is considered hazardous.
Yeah, you want a low score in that game.
Not
right?
a high one.
Coming up, no more saving spaces in Menominee Falls. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:04.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis. I'm Weston. What's your question?
You're not going to jump out and surprise me, are you?
What do you mean?
When you say Hasslis Mattress doesn't have employees, it's not a trick to get me in the showroom just so you can jump out and yell, surprise, right?
No. Our showrooms are 100% employee-free. Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
So, no surprises?
Our prices are surprisingly low. Since we have no showroom employees, we offer Beauty Rest and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for way less.
I can't stand the suspense.
Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I'm too surprising.
Well, get ready for this. Through Monday, purchase a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress and get an additional $200 credit just for shopping local.
I'm feeling faint.
Free next day delivery, too. Surprise! Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselist.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. There's free pizza today at the Amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford. Seriously, it is free. Coaches, managers, business owners. Check this out. Every Thursday when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 5 pizzas, get 5 free. You know how this goes. Buy 10, get 10 free. Any size, any quantity. So bring in your soccer, baseball, basketball, or tennis team, your club organization after practice, or game today for that free pizza. Your kids are going to love that world-class game room. It's fun. It's affordable. Team bonding, what a great idea. Bring in pizza for your loyal employees today. They're going to love it, and half your pizzas are free. You're going to love that. The Mineshaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh, just off the interstate. Stop today for your free pizza with your family, with your employees. I love the pepperoni at the Mineshaft. It's the real deal. The Friday cod fish fry is all you can eat. It's under $10. It's the best fish fry value anywhere. Order your pizza now. Pick it up shortly. Visit MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the Mineshaft.
Grandview buys homes. Let us help you sell your loved one's home. We'll buy your home completely as is. Get a fair cash offer in 48 hours and close on the day you choose. Take only the belongings you want and leave the stress and the mess to us. GrandviewHomes.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Afternoon baseball at American Family Field, and the Brewers go for the sweep. Brandon's got sports at 7:15.
Some breaking news this morning. Pat Robertson, a religious broadcaster who founded the Christian Broadcasting Network, also tried to run for president, made religion central to the Republican Party politics, has died. He was 93 years old. No word on a cause.
Crews investigating a deadly house fire, this in Racine. Man was found dead inside a burning home, 19th and Hayes, on Wednesday. His identity has not yet been released.
No, you can't save that space. Menominee Falls changing its July 3rd holiday parade rules. A stakeout ban is now in place. Now, for years, the Falls would allow parade goers to stake out a spot along the parade route 24 hours ahead of time. Now, the parade is always July 3rd.
It's a nighttime deal, right?
7 p.m.,
Yeah.
July 3rd. So then 7 p.m. the day before is when you could stake it out. Well, new this year, Falls police say no one is allowed to claim a spot until 2.5 hours before the parade starts. So 4:30 p.m. on parade day, July 3rd, parade goers can now mark their spots if they do so beforehand. The village says they will confiscate any items that are put down before 4:30.
I love this from the police department there. There will be no reserving, staking, taping off, or otherwise marking off viewing areas that are in the public right-of-way prior to July 3rd, 4:30 p.m. I like it. I think just it breeds lunacy because maybe I don't want to put my stuff out there 3-4 days ahead of time, but all of a sudden you start driving there on Appleton Avenue and you're like, a lot of stuff out here. How are we going to get our spot?
Know. The thing
you're
about
worried. This is your
So
your
this
town.
is, my town. I've been in this parade multiple times. I've watched this parade multiple times. When you have the 24-hour period, at least that dulls it a little bit. You'll have that rush.
Spreads it out.
You'll have that rush right away, the 24 hours in front. But at least the next day you can kind of come as you want. Now you're going to have everyone crammed in there ready to rock.
Battle!
At 4:25
Mad dash!
p.m. Yeesh.
Coming up, the home for Broadway here in Milwaukee has a new president. We're going to hear from him coming up next.
This report sponsored by Evans Transportation Services, one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sounds of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Evans in Delafield supports Milwaukee's baseball team. Find them at evanstrans.com.
You know you should be saving your hard-earned money in a safe place, but there's a difference between just letting it sit there and watching it grow. With Town Bank's great new rates on savings accounts, you can start earning more than ever before. Make the switch today and get more interest and their award-winning customer service. But act fast, these great new rates won't be here for long. Learn how much your money can grow at townbank.us. Banking products provided by Winters Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Traffic is sponsored by Miller Mobility, equipping seniors to remain living at home. Mention this ad and save 10% on stair lifts, scooters, lift chairs, bathroom safety, and more at Miller Mobility's Customer Appreciation Sale, June 9th and 10th. MillerMobility.com.
Update on the roads here with Debbie.
We are looking pretty good. A little tight on northbound 41, as you might expect, coming up from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank. On 94, east and westbound through the stadium interchange was tightening up a little bit there, but it's actually eased up a bit. Volume is still kind of heavy, so just something to keep in mind. But the rest of the system looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. You might want a light sweater out the door this morning. Cool temperatures, but this afternoon you won't need it. It's going to feel nice outside. Highs around 70, lakeside mid-70s. Inland, plenty of sunshine, only a little hazy out there today. Tonight, clear skies with lows dropping back into the 50s near the lake. Inland, we'll see a few 40s. Friday, mostly sunny, a little warmer with highs in the mid-70s. Lakeside, around 80 inland. Saturday, a warm start to the weekend with highs making it into the 80s. Partly cloudy. We do have the chance Saturday to see some showers and a few thunderstorms, but the best chance looks like it'll be late on Saturday. Sunday, still holding on to the chance for some rain showers, otherwise mostly cloudy and certainly cooler. Highs for the second half of the weekend on Sunday, only in the 60s. Monday, we'll hold on to at least a slight chance for rain showers with highs in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kristen Kershane with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Up to 57 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 7:12 this week, the Marcus Performing Arts Center announced Kevin Galinto will be the new president and CEO. Marcus Center, home to performances including Milwaukee Ballet, Florentine Opera, First Stage, Black Arts Milwaukee, and the popular touring Broadway shows, of course. Galinto is a Marquette University alumnus and tells me he is wrapping up his work right now in leadership at Washington's Kennedy Center. Excited to get back to Milwaukee.
I think it's a rich and robust artistic community. The theaters that are here and the quality of the theaters and the quality of the presenting companies and the arts institutions are just really outstanding.
Talking with Kevin Galinto, he is been named the president and CEO of the Marcus Performing Arts Center. How'd you get the job, Kevin? What did you tell the board that caused them to say, this is our guy?
I knew of the Marcus Center, and I knew its reputation, and I love the city so much, and I don't know any Marquette grad who doesn't have the same affinity and affection for Milwaukee. But the fact that what I've been doing for 25 years is really building diverse audiences for a wide array of different performance experiences, but then establishing long-term relationships with those audiences.
Talking with Kevin Galinto, he's been named president and CEO of the Marcus Performing Arts Center. You have to have the commitment to staging shows of all kinds, and there's the artwork that you really want to do and the progressive things, and then every once in a while you still got to throw Oklahoma in there to help fill the seats and pay the bills, right?
That is absolutely true, and we are lucky to be partners with Broadway across America and have the amount of Broadway programming that we do. And and I saw this in DC as well. We grow a lot of our audience who also come through theater. Either they're coming through theater first and then attend other things, or they're attending other things and want to go to musical theater and Broadway. And that kind of programming, and not just Broadway programming, but that kind of popular programming has to be part of the mix.
Galinto will begin his work as president and CEO at the Marcus Performing Arts Center in July. Sports is sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip. Brandon's got it next.
Hey, Wisconsin, Greg Matzik for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, where the summer road trip sale is on. Perfect timing to gear up for the adventures ahead, get more for your trade, and say yes to enticing offers on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or a GM-certified pre-owned model. Shop a rapidly expanding selection, explore what's new, treat yourself to a test drive, and experience Holiday's genuine guest care and refreshingly different, simplified buying approach. It's the stuff that delights drivers from all over the Badger State who have made Holiday Holiday, Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer and Buick Dealer of the Year. Accolades are per 2022 Buick and GMC Zone sales records. As a repeat customer and fan myself, I can say with confidence, you are in great hands with Team Holiday on your side. So find yours and discover the difference during the summer road trip sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Humans can do a lot of amazing things. Fighting bugs isn't one of them. STEM is powered by active ingredients found in plants to fight off bugs safely and effectively. Use as directed. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Milwaukee Brewers were back at it on Wednesday night, welcoming back Willie Adames into the starting lineup following his scare, and per usual, as it usually is, it was Willie who got the party started.
To his left, center, and deep. Get up! Get up! Get up! Get out of here and gone for Willie Adames! He's back!
Bob Uecker on the call right here on WTMJ. The Brewers bringing the bats out early and often, including rookie Joey Wiemer, who finished the day with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs, helping the Brew Crew go on for the 10-2 victory.
Drills this one into the gap in right center. Back Santander, looking up, it's gone! 2 straight swings for Wiemer, this time a 2-run blast. And the Brewers have a 3-0 lead.
It was an all-around fantastic game for the Brewers as Corbin Burns got the start and looked to be back in his Cy Young form, tossing 8 innings, allowing no runs, and striking out 9 batters. The Brewers will look for the series sweep later today. Coverage of that game gets underway right here on WTMJ at 12:35. To the NBA Finals, where Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets reclaimed the 2-1 series lead over the Heat with the 109-94 Game 3 victory in Miami. Jokic and Jamal Murray becoming the first teammates in NBA Finals history to both record 30-point triple-doubles. Denver will look to add to their lead with a Game 4 scheduled for Friday night. Lastly, to the NFL, where the Green Bay Packers will look to wrap up their organized team activities later this afternoon. So far, there's been some highs and there has been some lows for new starting quarterback Jordan Love, but regardless of either, head coach Matt LaFleur is pleased with his play thus far.
I'm less concerned about the end result right now, but I do believe that if the process is correct, he is going to be more consistent. So within that it's just the footwork, the clean mechanics, keeping a base in the pocket, being able to throw at any point in time. And I think just the rhythm and the timing, that's something that we've really stressed. I think he's done a good job, in particular this week, of making some really significant strides.
The Packers' next focus after today will begin on Tuesday of next week with a 3-day mandatory minicamp.
Coming up, saying he's sorry again and again. The Bucs player getting a second chance in a community event coming up next week. That story next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Analyzing the best of the diamond from every degree. Brewers 360. Your comprehensive look at all things Brewers, on and off the field.
Swing and a drive to right and deep. Get up!
Hear from Brewers reporters, announcers, and members of the front office every morning on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45. It's Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
Vince Vitrano here for Tri-County Contracting. A lot of things on your summer to-do list. One of them should not be getting the ladder out, climbing on top of your roof, and trying to see if there's anything wrong up there. Let Tri-County, the professionals, do that for you. Tri-County Contracting offers the $650 worry-free roof tune-up. Here's what it includes. A full inspection of your roof. They'll replace any missing or damaged shingles. They'll give you fresh caulking and sealing, the stuff around the vents and the flashing. They will go up there, inspect everything, and extend the life of your roof. Even if you've got a relatively new roof, still a good idea to get Tri-County Contracting up there for a look around and do some of that preventive maintenance before you've got water coming in the house. It will give you peace of mind. Tri-County Contracting. Give them a call for the worry-free roof tune-up today.
Here's to the farm and fleet dads, the ones who work hard and get the job done right, the ones who take pride in what they do and take the time to pass it on. This Father's Day, get your dad a gift he'll love. like rugged, comfortable men's cat boots, the perfect gift for dads who can do it all. Right now, all men's cat footwear is on sale, $10 off. Shop our entire selection in-store or online at farmandfleet.com. Find value on great gifts for dad at your Father's Day headquarters, Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
What do you see on the roads, Debbie?
Not much, Vince. It is quiet as can be. We've got just that heavier volume around the area, but even the delays on northbound 41 from Wisconsin up past Watertown Plank Road have eased up. Everything is looking great. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, sunny and a little hazy today with a high of 75 degrees. A little bit cooler near the lake. Tonight, clear skies and a low down to 52. And for your Friday, mostly sunny. 80 degrees your high temperature, 74 lakeside right now at 58. Recall late in this past NBA season, the Milwaukee Bucks signed a guy who'd been out of basketball for 2 years. Now, in part initially due to injury, but then also because he'd essentially been canceled for using an anti-Semitic slur while on a public gaming platform. A hateful word that Myers Leonard claimed he didn't even really know what it meant.
To be totally honest with you, I was sad that I was losing my job. I was sad that I hurt people. And frankly, all I cared about in my life, outside of taking care of my family, but honestly, it's like 1A and 1B, was going to make this right.
That is Myers Leonard speaking with ESPN's Outside the Lines about the incident. Since then, he has been on a years-long redemption tour. He's met with Jewish leaders all across the country and communities in which he's lived, and he's going to speak publicly about this continuing process again at Milwaukee's Jewish Community Center next week. I will be a part of that event, moderating a conversation with Myers. Mark Shapiro is president and CEO of the Harry and Rose Sampson Family Jewish Community Center, and he joins us live this morning. Morning, Mark.
Good morning, Vince.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you about this interesting opportunity that you presented to me and that you present to the community. You and I have been friends a long time, and I know you take your responsibility to not just the Jewish community, but the community as a whole very seriously. And I know you would not invite someone into your house whom you thought was just saying the things he needed to say so that he could keep playing ball.
That is very true. Our co-chairs, Ryan Odeski, Jamie Miller, and I, we had a chance to meet with Myers. Zoom call. It was actually during the lead into the playoffs, and he took the time then, to focus on this. And the scheduling actually happened while that was going on. We were trying to actually tuck it in while the games were here in Milwaukee. That's how important it was to Myers. And, there are a lot of athletes who have had challenges, who, like you said in the intro, been canceled. And Myers is clearly somebody who is very different about this, very interested in fixing the hate speech that is happening in the world from the platform he has.
Hey, Mark, what are you hoping to learn?
I'm going to be really interested to see actually what all the people who are there are willing to learn. I'm going to be watching our community. That is going to be the question of, it's been such a cancel culture. Are people really willing to let people make amends? There's pretty solid lessons about redemption, the Hebrew word teshuvah, of actually being forgiven and how you get forgiven. I'm going to be intrigued to see if the community is really ready to accept an apology. Can a person make a mistake and then fix it, or is it just canceled out the minute you make that mistake?
Talking with Mark Shapiro, president and CEO of the Jewish Community Center here in Milwaukee. Myers Leonard will be a guest for a forum next week. So, Mark, on that point, too, I was talking to folks about this and said, you got to look at every one of these incidents, though, that we deal with on a case-by-case basis because they're not all the same. In this case, you have a guy who said, I said a word one time, I didn't really know what it meant. That's different from someone who, wrote a manifesto of anti-Semitic stuff and then wants to say, like, oh, yeah, well, I didn't mean any of that.
Yeah, I'm going to espouse it all the time until all of a sudden I realize the impact is really bad, and
Right.
now I'm sorry. Yeah, a very different kind of situation here. And, there was an interesting conversation about this. Did he know what it meant? And the question or the answer I keep giving when people say it is, okay, so let's even say he knew what it meant and it slipped out or it came out once as a mistake, and then he's dedicated all this time to saying, wow, that was a mistake. I think people have thought, bad thoughts or wrong words, and our job is to try and not share them or to learn more and have them not be a part of our life anymore. The question is, can we be a society that moves from hate speech to actually allowing people to be forgiven? And that's exactly it, is continue it, go on, and now you want to renew your contract, but that wasn't what Myers did. And that's why we're so impressed with Myers and so happy to be a part of it.
Mark, I asked you this when you invited me to be a part of this, to lead that conversation, and I'll ask you again so you can share with everyone. Why aren't you, or maybe somebody who is Jewish, the one asking the questions here? Why'd you ask me to do this?
That I've been challenged about that since the minute I asked you, Vince. No,
yes, by me.
I think this yes, by you and by, a whole slew of other people, including your mother. No, the question is, the answer to that question is really simple. The JCC has been a part of the greater community, not just the Jewish community. Hate speech that happens to any one group of people happens to every group of people. And I think that one of the most important things that we can do is really give the opportunity for us to understand we are handling this subject. We are honoring what Myers is trying to do by making this not just a Jewish hate speech. Yes, it was that word. Yes, Jewish community is targeted. 56% of all religious hate crimes are strangely targeted on 2.4% of the population, the Jewish population. But if we want to actually try and reverse any of these trends, we need to start opening up the doors and recognizing that hate speech against one person is hate speech against everybody. And Vince, you have always shown yourself as one of those people who gets to the bottom of what's happening and can actually hold people accountable in how you ask questions. You are a professional and consummate news person. And like you said, you've been a friend of the JCC in good times, in tough times, in comedy at Laugh It Up Milwaukee, to when there have been bomb threats with us. And that's why you're there, because of the person that you are and because of the message that having you there sends to the whole community.
Well, I appreciate the invitation very much, Mark. I am honored by it. I'm looking forward to next week. Mark Shapiro, President and CEO of the Jewish Community Center here in Milwaukee. Thanks, my friend. I'll talk to you next week.
Thanks.
It is called Words Matter, a Jewish community conversation with Myers Leonard. It's 7 p.m. next Wednesday at the JCC. It is free, and everyone is welcome. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 91 points, a little bit more than that, even to 33,665. The NASDAQ closed at 13,105. That was down 171 points, and the S&P 500 closed at 4268, off 16. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today. You may be hearing the costs of property insurance for businesses are skyrocketing. To share some insight, here's Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hi, Vince. The property insurance market right now is very challenging. Large rate hikes and more restrictions on what will be covered. Why is this happening? Natural disasters are becoming more frequent in the Midwest. In 2022, the Midwest had 7 events, each costing more than $1 billion. Many businesses and homeowners have buildings and residences that are underinsured. Insurance companies are looking to bring these values current, which can increase costs. Buyers need to have a strategy. If your agent's not addressing these issues, it's time to find a new one.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
As one of the largest independent agencies in the Midwest, R&R Insurance has the knowledge to build strategies to help you control costs and the buying power with leading carriers to get you the best coverage at competitive rates. At R&R Insurance, we know property insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for two, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce carton Stone Ridge Creamery ice cream or sherbet, 2 for $6. 128-ounce jug Prairie Farms milk, $3.99. 64-ounce jug Prairie Farms chocolate milk, $2.99. 8.3 to 12-ounce package Frigo Cheesehead string cheese, $4.99. 6 to 8 count Mega Rolls Angel Soft Bath Tissue, $6.99.
Hey, why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
It's 7:30. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Our top story, Milwaukee could be left in part out of the shared revenue bill.
I'm Eric Bilstead. Another indictment appears imminent.
I'm Brandon Snod. The Brewers activating the offense for a big night at the plate.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Looks like westbound 94. Looks like we might have a broken down vehicle at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder. So just watch out for that. But the eastbound side's where you're seeing some delays through the stadium interchange itself. We've got northbound 43 backing up right around the North Avenue curve all the way up to about Locust. It's just going to add an extra minute or so onto your ride. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunshine with a little haze today and a high of 75 degrees. A little bit cooler near the lake. Clear skies tonight and a low down to 52. Right now, Milwaukee temp at 57. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee could be left in part out of the state's shared revenue plan. Lawmakers have been working on a package that would send money to communities across the state. GOP and Democratic leaders have been at odds over how a sales tax in Milwaukee County and City of Milwaukee could be raised. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos says if no deal is reached by the end of the week, he would support removing Milwaukee from the package.
If we do not get a deal this week, I think we should strip out all of the Milwaukee things. And we will just focus on the balance of the bill, which is repealing the personal property tax and making sure that every community around the state is not held hostage by Milwaukee's problems.
Vos and Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu met with Governor Evers earlier this week. Now, Vos has said they'll pause talk on the full state budget talks as well until this shared revenue piece is taken care of. Democratic Madison State Senator Melissa Agard on News 3 Now.
When we're looking at the whole budget as opposed to different pieces of the budget, we're able to actually fit those puzzle pieces together in a better way. So splintering different topics off feels a little bit concerning to me.
Now, the governor had said Wednesday he's optimistic a deal will be reached.
A victim of that hit-and-run crash on Brady Street in Milwaukee is said to be doing much better, but he's got a long road ahead of him. A man whom friends call Quincy was hit early Memorial Day morning. Relatives telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel Quincy suffered 2 broken legs, broken foot, broken ribs, and lacerated liver and kidneys. And despite all of that, organizers of his GoFundMe account say he is awake and doing better. Police have since released a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot that hit Quincy. Right now, no word of any arrests.
Several Milwaukee County municipalities taking advantage of a new state law to significantly increase the cost that comes with reckless driving tickets. But Glendale Police Chief Mark Ferguson tells TMJ4 News it's not solving the problem on its own.
Some of the people that I think are driving recklessly, I don't think they really care about citations or fines, so I'm not sure how much of that would help.
Ferguson's hoping to increase the cost for first offense reckless driving in Glendale. Right now it's about $300.
Another indictment could be handed down to former President Donald Trump this week. More from ABC's Pierre Thomas.
ABC News learning that former President Trump has recently received a target letter from Special Counsel Jack Smith, warning him that he has been the subject of an ongoing grand jury investigation into his possible mishandling of classified documents. The letter effectively puts Donald Trump on notice that he faces the real prospect of indictment.
Dangerous air quality alerts now in effect for more than 100 million Americans in at least 20 different states. This as that smoke from the Canadian wildfires continues to drift south and blanket the area. New York City registering the worst air quality in the world. ABC's Trevor Alt is there.
It all stems from what's shaping up to be a record-setting fire season in Canada. More than 6 million acres burned and more than 11,000 people now forced to evacuate from remote parts of Quebec. thousands more expected in the coming days. In Nova Scotia, scorched debris littering the ground, and more than half of the country's hundreds of remaining fires are still out of control.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Coming up, a Hollywood actress battling brain cancer. Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
June is here, and as a Wisconsinite, you know that means nothing but blue skies and sunshine. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the rising temperatures ahead. This is Jim Griffin. Don't worry whether you are a new or existing customer on the north, west, or south side of town. We'll make vehicle maintenance easy peasy and breezy with summer service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. During the month of June, make sure not to fizzle when the summer starts to sizzle. Be ready for the roads with as much confidence and peace of mind as possible when you take advantage of the summer service specials, good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
When I came up with this half-combumbled idea of opening a furniture store in Milwaukee, I still think you're crazy, but well.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Our parents were hesitantly positive for us, but that's just who they were. But my college professors, I was quitting college to start this, and they were, oh, absolutely, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had a girlfriend told me not to do it. We were originally going to have a partner.
He backed out.
He backed out. Actually, two partners backed out.
Yeah.
And actually, it was good that everybody else backed out.
Yeah.
Because it worked better this way.
But I guess we kind of looked at it as what's the worst that could happen? And honestly, what's the worst that could happen?
Yes.
We'd have been in debt and we'd owed a lot of money back.
Yes.
So we'd just had to work that off somewhere and then...
And it wouldn't have been that much money.
No.
We didn't have that much money and nobody borrowed us any, so...
Well, that's true. And at 19, you got the time to make some mistakes at that age, you know?
Yes.
So what if I had to work 3 years to pay off all that debt before I made any money again for myself and then go forward from there again, you know?
Yeah.
PennyMustard.com.
At Semper Fi, the path to self-improvement never ends. So it feels good to be good. It's been 20 years, and we'll make sure you feel like you made a great decision to have us work on your next exterior remodeling project.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:37.
Brewers Senior Vice President and General Manager Matt Arnold is our guest on Brewers 360 at 7:45.
Breaking news this morning, Pat Robertson, a religious broadcaster who founded the Christian Broadcasting Network, has passed away. Robertson was 93.
Menominee Falls changing its July 3rd holiday rules. A stakeout ban is now in place. For years, the Falls would allow parade goers to claim their spots along the parade route on Appleton Avenue about 24 hours ahead of time. Well, new this year, Falls police say they're not going to allow folks to claim spots until 2.5 hours before the parade begins. So that would be 4:30 on parade day. Parade goers can then begin marking their spots. If they do so beforehand, the village says police will confiscate those items.
A new clinic in Hales Corner is hoping to bring a fresh take on mental health.
The goal of the LA Mental Health Network is to destigmatize mental health treatment and to help make it more accessible. Clinical Director Colleen Christensen tells WTMJ.
We have inclusive office spaces that allow for authenticity both of our therapists and of our clients.
Christensen says she's also trying to make the clinic a healthy place for its employees.
I really want a reputation for therapists in the community to see this as a place where we are changing that work culture.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Actress Shannon Doherty sharing the fear that she is going through as she continues to battle cancer.
My fear is obvious, Shannon Doherty writes in a post on Instagram that's accompanied by a video of her going through brain radiation therapy. She says she found out in January that her cancer had migrated to her brain, and in the video you can see tears in her eyes as she receives treatment. Doherty was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015, and after going into remission, she revealed in 2020 that the disease had spread and was now stage 4. In the new post, she says she wanted to share the fear and turmoil so people can see what cancer can look like. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
Coming up, do I look like the governor? Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:39.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
RJ Schinner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT Manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems. Better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. They'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems. Reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:40.
All right, there we go. Now we're starting to get more of those delays. Eastbound 94, hitting the brakes around 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. Let's up right around 35th Street. The westbound side slowing down from 20th Street all the way through the Stadium. We got northbound 43 backing up right around the North Avenue curve, and then again from Hampton to Silver Spring. Southbound side still looks okay. Northbound 41 from Wisconsin up to Watertown Plank, and then east and westbound on the bypass backing up, mainly between 35th Street and 68th in either direction. So give yourself a little bit of extra time there. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, a beautiful day on the way. Lots of sunshine, only a little haze. Highs around 70 lakeside, mid-70s inland. Tonight, clear skies with lows dropping into the 50s near the lake. Inland, we'll see some lows in the 40s. Friday, mostly sunny. Nice end to the week. Highs a little warmer. Lakeside in the mid-70s. Inland will top out around 80. Saturday, partly cloudy and certainly a warm day with highs in the 80s. We do have the chance on Saturday to see a few showers and storms. Looks like the best chance will be late in the day. Sunday, we'll hold on to the chance for some much-needed rain. Otherwise, mostly cloudy and cooler. Highs on Sunday only in the mid to upper 60s. Monday, we'll hold on to at least a chance for a few showers with highs staying in the upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Kristen Kershane with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
57 in Milwaukee. Guy says, you're one of them politicians, right? I'm serious. In line at the store, and a guy in front of me, he's trying to place me. And that happens from time to time.
So they'll see you and they think they know where
out
you're
of context,
from.
It looks familiar. I don't know, right? It was on TV for 20 years,
Yeah,
right? So at some point
happens.
you get some level of familiarity. But he couldn't figure it out, and I don't know why he was on the politics side. He said, "You're that senator." I'm like, "Sir, I am not a senator." And then I try to go about my business. So usually I'll help people. Like, used to be on Channel 4. That's it. Okay.
You weren't helping this guy?
I don't know why I didn't.
Why don't you just tell me who you are?
I just was trying to go away, right? Which I wasn't bothered, how dare you speak to me? I just I didn't see, I wasn't interested in this conversation.
All right.
But he is insisting that I am a politician. He's like, yeah, you're a politician. What? Yeah, Scott Walker, right? Scott Walker? He even asked me, are you sure you're not Scott Walker? Yeah. I'm quite sure I am not a 2-term governor of the state of Wisconsin. You see anything there? No, there's nothing there.
No, you don't really look alike. I mean, he's a little bit taller. You have similar hair color, I guess. But
if you forgot what I look like, I suppose you can join us on the live stream today. We are on camera right now here in our studios at the Avenue.
2 points on this. The first one is, this clearly means that most people don't pay attention as closely to politics as the rest of the world thinks we do.
Sure, right.
And the second point, the B on all of this is, what store were you in where you were spending all this time with a guy who thought you were the former governor?
Those at the liquor store.
At the liquor store.
Not a whiskey.
Wow, that's a lot of JD you're getting there,
right.
Governor.
Yes. I'm here at 2 in the afternoon. The 2-time governor of the state of Wisconsin just Stocking up on the whiskey here
Governor,
at 27th in college.
Didn't realize you like Goldschlager, Mr. Governor.
You bet. Got just a little taste, little nip. 7:44. Brewers Senior Vice President and General Manager Matt Arnold on Brewers 360 next.
Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine.
Greg Mansick here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, your destination to gear up for summer travel, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM certified pre-owned model. I'm confident you'll enjoy their simplified buying approach and award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Automotive, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Your pain is likely due to a wear and tear process called osteoarthritis. Now, when you combine that with being a little overweight or not being as active as you'd like to be, you get into a downward pain spiral. At Rejuvenex, we control pain by precisely targeting and treating the areas where your pain lives, like shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, with our powerful FDA-approved treatments that cushion and lubricate the affected areas to deliver long-lasting pain relief. Now, like maintenance on a car, to maintain your relief, our team of physicians will follow up with you roughly every 6 to 18 months. My name is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Rejuvenex is in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief. Really.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Joey Wiemer hit 2 home runs. Willie Adames returned back to the lineup, and the Brewers rolled the Baltimore Orioles by a final of 10-2 Wednesday night at American Family Field. Corbin Burns got the start, tossing 8 innings, allowing no runs, and striking out 9 batters. The Brewers will look for the series sweep later today. Coverage gets underway right here on WTMJ at 12:35.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive.
It gets on base here. So do I care if it's a walk or a hit? Pete? You do not. I do not.
Brewers Senior Vice President and General Manager Matt Arnold with us live this morning. Morning, Matt.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Hey, so I know the Brewers don't go back east until mid to late June, but got to have on your radar a couple of MLB games canceled due to the air quality concerns in the Northeast. And then you may ultimately, depending on how long that has to happen, start to see the ripple effects across the league.
Yeah, no question. Anytime you want to have the players' safety in mind and staff and everybody, I've seen a handful of those things over time, and you always want to be cautious, especially with the air quality and stuff like that. We felt it here in Milwaukee a little bit this last weekend.
Does the office reach out to the league on that, Matt? Did they send out a note to everyone saying, hey, heads up, keep this on your radar, yada, yada?
Yeah, they'll absolutely give us a heads up to the extent that they can. And sometimes there are things that are some unfortunately unforeseen. But for the most part, yeah, they'll try to give us as much heads up as possible.
Matt, we're talking about the play on the field now, and it was a fun night to be at the ballpark last night, which you were there. You were on the Bally Sports broadcast, and Joey Wiemer came up and hit 1 of 2 of his home runs. As the general manager, I mean, obviously you're rooting for the team. You're a fan of the team. Is it easy? Is it hard to sit there and not react to what is happening on live TV? Because if it's me, I'm dropping the headset and I'm pounding my chest and I'm screaming, "That's my guy! That's my guy!
Let's go! Let's go!" No, we had a few fist bumps going in there with me and BA and Rock for sure. So yeah, we were quietly cheering, I guess is the best way to put it. But no, we're fans too, just like everybody else. So anytime you see something like that, it's great, and you're always fired up.
You know, guys, when they're young in their career too, Matt, and some of our guys are going through this right now. They're up with the big league club, and then they're back down, and then they're back up. Those early transition years, they're not all Robin Yount. At 18, they come up, and that's the career, right?
Yeah, no question. There are so many players deal with those types of things up and down and have to go through adjustments, and they have to learn how to play at the major league level, and the speed of the game is different here And so many guys are just making adjustments in a lot of cases at the major league level here. And so when you see a guy like Joey Wiemer getting a huge hit, walk-off hit the other day and a couple home runs yesterday, do you see the emergence of this type of guy and all the work that he's put in? And it makes you super proud just to be a part of it.
Matt, real quick before we let you go, speaking of Joey Wiemer, there's a couple players in the clubhouse who promised to grow out mullets if the Brewers
Dude, that is the worst haircut in Major League Baseball.
If they make the playoffs, Matt, are you going to be one of them? Are you leading by example here?
Man. Wow.
Do
let me
it.
Circle back with you on that one, buddy.
Let's go.
That's a circle back from Arnold. Great.
Yeah. Actually, that's the perfect baseball hat wearing haircut, isn't it?
That's true.
It is. It's a big league haircut, and if he's hitting homers, I think we'll certainly have to consider it.
That's right. I don't care what the guy does to his hair. Matt Arnold, Brewers Senior Vice President and General Manager. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Let's go! If he's a good hitter, why doesn't he hit good?
We got trivia with Tausch. I need a player. Old National Bank talking text line is 855-616-1620. Old National Bank, get old. Caller number 5 will play trivia with Tausch next.
Start planning for your retirement today so you enjoy retirement tomorrow. Saturday mornings at 11 and Sunday mornings at 7, where Tony Drake and his Education First team discuss retirement trends, taxes, inflation, and Social Security benefits to help you achieve a more secure financial future.
Join us this week as we talk about the power of tax planning and how it helps extend your retirement funds.
Retirement Ready with Tony Drake on WTMJ.
Mark Tauscher for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They're like your own personal barista for windows and doors. Pella's design options are virtually limitless, even more customized than your coffee. Their wood windows and patio doors can be painted, stained, or left bare to complement your unique home decor. And they stand the test of time. It's why Pella confidently offers the best wood warranty in the industry. Bundle and save when you customize your order by August 31st. Get started today at PellaWI.com. ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Treat yourself to a new shower this summer. Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you over. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Are you ready to amp up your life and rock a new career? Potawatomi Casino Hotel is holding a hiring jam session for the new Rock and Brews restaurant. Come meet your future team members in the Tailgate House at American Family Field on June 12th, 14th, and 15th. Here's the hook. There are on-the-spot job offers.
Excellent!
Choose from a variety of restaurant positions. It's time to rock and roll and build your new future. Apply today at careers.paysbig.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback.
Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law is the local veterans benefit claims law firm. They're now accepting Camp Lejeune claims. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Checking in with Debbie here, and then trivia with Tausch.
Okay. Westbound 94. We got a broken down vehicle at Mitchell Boulevard off on the right shoulder. It's definitely affecting your ride. You got slowdowns right out of the Marquette all the way past that scene. The eastbound side slowing down from about 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium Interchange. Once you get past 35th Street, opens right up. We got northbound 41 hitting the brakes from before Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank. And then southbound 43 now starting to slow down from Bender Road all the way down to Hampton and a little bit past Keefe down towards Locust. The northbound side's backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to about Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. A little hazy today under sunny skies and a high of 75 degrees. Cooler near the lake. Clear and low down to 52 tonight. Friday, perfect. 80 degrees your inland high. Cooler near the lake under mostly sunny skies. Saturday, partly cloudy. Then we bring in a chance for showers and storms late in the day with a high of 83. And then mostly cloudy Sunday. Much cooler. Showers likely and a high of 67. 57 right now in Milwaukee.
It's the most important pick you'll make all week. Who are you going to pick? This guy?
Dying here.
This guy?
I love you. Kiss me, baby.
Or him?
Give me a Coors Light and I'm going to be pretty happy.
The choice is yours. It's time for Trivia with Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Our Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and by Kohler Services. The gauntlet Tausch is laid down because Brandon said he thinks he has a stumper today.
Oh, well, Brandon's been good to me the last, I think, 2 weeks. I think we've got it without any clues, so I'm sure he's probably going to bone up here and make it a little more difficult.
That was a little insider trading information for our contestant today. Tim is on the line with us from Fond du Lac. Morning, Tim.
Morning.
Hey, so you heard me say Brandon thinks he's got a stumper today, so you can go with him, or you can pick me, you can pick Eric, or you can pick Mark Tauscher to get the question right.
I'm going with Tausch. He's got to have it.
I never discourage our player contestant from doing that. All right, Tim, hang on the line.
Love Fond du Lac.
We'll see what Tausch can do for you.
Hey, is it walleye weekend this weekend, or was that last weekend, Tim?
Nope, it's this weekend. So Saturday looks great. Sunday it's going to rain, so great festival.
All right.
Walleye weekend in Fond du Lac.
There you go.
Let's go.
All right, what do you got, Brandon?
All right, gentlemen. Yesterday was National Chocolate Ice Cream Day. In honor of that great day, the United States, to no one's surprise, comes on the list as the #1 country to consume the most ice cream. My question for you, which country comes on the list at number 2?
Quick question before we go, Brandon. Is this per capita, or is this just consumption?
Just consumption.
Good question, Tausch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vince.
You're looking for a populous nation here, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking. I had one idea, but now I'm. All right, what's our first clue? I don't, unless Eric wants to jump in.
I was actually thinking about that today, just jumping, but I'll take a clue.
All right, this country not only known for its consumption of ice cream, it is also known for its kiwi fruit.
Australia.
No. I would say you're close, though.
Oh, well,
all right, I'm going to say New Zealand. Yeah.
Did I give it away?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
So who got it first, though? Do I need to go back and listen? I kind of yelled over
check
it.
the tape.
I think it was Tausch.
Tim, do you think
Yeah, I
Tausch
do
came in
too.
before me or no? Thought I still had Tim on.
You
Is he there, Tim?
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on.
You think
Yep.
Tausch came in before I did?
Oh, absolutely. Tausch won for sure.
Okay. Eric's trying to. You think you're going to get tape on this?
Yeah, I think I can pull this up and get an instant replay on it. I kind of yell over it, so that probably didn't help.
It might have been you, Eric.
Hold on a second.
Compelling radio so far.
Oh, well,
I'm going to say New Zealand.
Known for its
Okay.
That sounded like me.
So here it is. They're talking here. Australia.
No. I would say you're close, though.
Oh, well,
I'm going to say New Zealand.
Oh, it was.
Ooh,
it was
I
Vinny.
think it was Vince.
It was.
Wow.
Tim, I'm sorry I did that to you. I should have just shut up and let Tausch take it because I don't want to deny you your prize.
You could still give it to him.
Can I
if you
just give it
wanted
to him? I had that authority. All right, you know what, Tim? Hang on.
I think this reminds me a lot of the original replay game where I think everyone in Chicago thought that Don Mikowski was past the line of scrimmage, and he wasn't. In real time, I know that I beat Vince there, so I think we give Tim the nod here and give him the prize pack.
What do you mean in real time? We just listened to it.
No, I know, but you don't think Billstead could have doctored that tape up? Like that, I feel
Not
like
that quick,
in
Tausch.
real
He's
life.
not that good.
Plus, I'm giving Tim the prize.
Debbie, I have to admit that's the best point you've made there. Maybe it is that Vinny beat me by a click.
Actually, upon further review, I got it right. I said New Zealand. It says here.
Wow,
just kidding.
Stop.
Eric's one.
Stop.
Oh,
Lift it all up, dude.
Australia never existed.
All right, Tausch, we'll talk again tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Business headlines are
Come
up
on.
next. Yes. Is there more? Let's go! Can I give Old National Bank a read here?
Yes.
Business headlines are sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old?
Come on!
Here's Milwaukee Business Journal's Teddy Nichol.
Fiserv hopes to occupy its new global headquarters in downtown Milwaukee by the end of 2023, but it says it's still awaiting permits for the interior construction it's planning. The company's stock yesterday joined the New York Stock Exchange after previously trading on the NASDAQ. A new restaurant called The Edison will soon open in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward. It'll serve American cuisine with a spotlight on coal-fired butcher's cuts and seafood. The same operators also run other local restaurants, including Onesto and Blueback Kitchen and Tequileria. Uline wants to hire 200 more employees as soon as possible for a 1 million square foot building opening this fall. It could bring on hundreds more as it starts construction on the first of 4 massive new warehouses in Kenosha County. I'm Teddy Nichol with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
While the warm weather has you feeling like new, get old with a money market account from Old National Bank and earn a 5.00% annual percentage yield. Whether you're saving up for something big or just for a rainy day, Old National is here for you. Earn 5.00% APY with our limited time 12-month introductory money market offer. To earn the promotional rate, account must be funded with a minimum of $10,000 not on deposit at Old National as of April 14th, 2023. Learn more at oldnational.com or visit a local banking center today. Offer not available online. Member FDIC. Old National Bank. Get old.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Current Electric and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
If you're on the job day in and day out, you know living with pain in your knees, hips, back, or shoulders is miserable. The good news, QC Kinetics gets it. They understand guys like you.
They don't have the luxury of taking time off. They want to keep working. We are built for those guys that want to keep working and want to stay active. So the vast majority of who we see are the blue-collar guys like me and you.
QC Kinetics uses biologic therapies, just like pro athletes have used for years, to get you lasting pain relief with no surgery.
I want you to continue working. I want you to continue exercising. The joints are made to be moved.
The treatments at QC Kinetics are fast and non-invasive.
It's not a lot of time commitment on your part. There is no downtime or recovery time. You don't need short-term disability with what we do. We want to keep you active.
Call QC Kinetics now to set up your free no-obligation consultation. Learn how you can get real pain relief and stay on the job.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
8:02, 58 degrees, sunny, a little hazy today, a high of 75. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstead. Debbie Lasker, checking the roads.
Yeah, we got a broken down vehicle in the stadium interchange, basically right at Mitchell Boulevard. So that means we got backups all the way out of the Marquette past that scene. Right now, it's a 15-minute ride downtown to the zoo. Eastbound side, things are slowing down from 84th Street through the stadium. Northbound 41, heavy from Blue Mound Road all the way up past Watertown Plank. And then on westbound 894, we're seeing backups from 27th Street all the way to about 68th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
A showdown brewing in Madison over shared revenue.
It started with Assembly Speaker Robin Vos saying that if a deal on shared revenue isn't done by the end of the week, he would propose a bill that did not contain the contentious proposals around allowing Milwaukee to raise its sales tax, with a number of stipulations attached to that by Wisconsin Republicans. But it's Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu who upped the ante, saying the legislature had sent its last proposal to Governor Evers and that a deal needed to be reached by Wednesday. Both LeMahieu and Vos saying the fight is taking time away from work on the state budget. Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Governor Evers had said Wednesday he was hopeful a shared revenue deal would be completed. hopefully by the end of the week, he said. A proposal that would ban flag signage and what's being called divisive propaganda has been considered this morning at a Arrowhead Union High School Board Committee meeting. Took place earlier today. That measure would prohibit signage that promotes one group over others, stating it can create isolation and division, according to the proposal. A victim of a hit-and-run crash on Milwaukee's Brady Street from last month is now said to be doing better. The man, who friends call Quincy, was hit early Memorial Day Monday morning. Relatives tell the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that he suffered 2 broken femurs, a broken foot, broken ribs, also some lacerated kidneys. Now, despite these injuries, though, organizers of his GoFundMe account say he's awake and doing better. Police did release a picture of the silver Jeep Patriot that hit Quincy last week, but there's been no word of any arrests made in that case. It is another day of thick, smoky air blanketing hundreds of millions of people on the eastern half of the U.S. There are cancellations and delays at the airports. Schools in New Jersey are closed today. New York City has the worst air quality in the world. And in Washington, D.C., ABC's Rob Marciano.
We are on the mall, the Capitol itself, shrouded in smoke. On the other side, less than a mile away, the monument standing at 550 feet tall. You can't see it anymore. D.C. had its highest particle matter count in over 20 years. Today, it's likely to be worse.
This is all because of those wildfires in Canada.
Until those wildfires are contained, that smoke is going to keep pouring south. And we have now heard from Canadian and U.S. officials. They say hundreds of American firefighters have now arrived in Canada to help battle the flames, and even more are on the way.
ABC's Trevor Alt. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:06.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of specialty light fixtures now open Saturdays 10 to 4.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With the weather getting warmer, our prices get even hotter. When you visit our showroom, you'll see all the finest brands of lights and ceiling fans. BBC is Wisconsin's largest supplier to new home builders, contractors, and designers. And we display all the famous brands such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Hubbard & Forge, and hundreds more. Our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday from 10 to 4. We are located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
From big tailgate parties to cozy dinners for 2, the freshest ideas start with a stop at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 48-ounce carton Stone Ridge Creamery ice cream or sherbet, 2 for $6. 128-ounce jug Prairie Farms milk, $3.99. 64-ounce jug Prairie Farms chocolate milk, $2.99. 8.3 to 12-ounce package Frigo Cheesehead string cheese, $4.99. 6 to 8 count Mega Rolls Angel Soft Bath Tissue, $6.99.
Why'd you throw my glass across the room?
I have to keep practicing.
The vase from Aunt Sophie?
I'm warming up in case I get to take them out at American Family Field. Read this.
Win the ultimate baseball fan experience at Century Foods?
You either get to throw out the first pitch, hold the finish line for the famous racing sausages, or be on the field during batting practice. My new TV!
Just doing a little batting practice of my own.
The ultimate baseball fan experience from Century Foods. Return the entry form found in the weekly ad to any Century by July 26th.
Joey Wiemer hit 2 home runs. Willie Adames returned to action, and the Milwaukee Brewers rolled the Baltimore Orioles over at American Family Field on Wednesday night. This one by a final score of 10-2. Corbin Burns got the start and looked to be back in his Cy Young form, tossing 8 innings, allowing no runs and striking out 9. The Brewers will look for the series sweep later today. Coverage of that game gets underway right here on WTMJ at 12:35. Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets reclaim the NBA Finals series lead with a 109-94 victory over the Miami Heat in Game 3. Jokic and his teammate Jamal Murray became the first duo in NBA Finals history to both record 30-point triple-doubles. Denver will look to add to their lead with a Game 4 scheduled for Friday night in Miami. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
We do have some delays northbound on 43 from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up past Keith. Right now, what we've got is about a 15-minute ride from downtown to Brown Deer Road, so it's an extra 4. Same thing for the southbound side, by the way. Northbound 41, heavy from Wisconsin Avenue up past Watertown Plank Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Weniger Compressor, ready to service any facility at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor carries high-performance, top-of-the-line compressors. Many offer a lifetime warranty and 60-day return policy. Contact Weniger at pressureisoff.biz.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, sunny, a little hazy today around here, a high of 75. Tonight, clear sky, a low of 52. For your Friday, sunny tomorrow, a high of 80. Saturday, partly cloudy. There is a chance for showers or storms late on Saturday, a high of 83. Sunday, cloudy with rain likely, cooler, a high of 67. Monday, there's another chance for rain on Monday. Right now, in Madison, 58. Green Bay, 58. Waukesha, 56. And in Milwaukee, 59 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstad, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Big winner today in trivia. There you have it.
Just by the hair on your chinny chin chin.
See, that was an important replay.
You want to hear it again? So you say New Zealand before Tausch did.
Yeah.
New Zealand. Clear. Yeah, no, it's clear. It's clear.
I don't want any...
What I want to know is why is New Zealand the second largest consuming country in the world?
Of ice cream?
Of ice cream.
And I was wrong. I was looking for a more populous nation.
Yeah,
right,
so we didn't even get to that. Anyway.
No, of the important issue, now less than a month away, Independence Day, and I love this topic because it's long been a pet peeve of mine, and I will admit to actually not doing some things that I would otherwise want to do because I don't want to participate in the lunacy that precedes the event. For example, I can't tell you the last time I went to the July 3rd fireworks on the lakefront. It's a great event. I love it. I loved when I went as a kid. I think it's great, and I'm so glad that it's back and sponsored and ready to go.
Just what? Because it's busy? There's a lot going on?
Because I don't want to stake a tent down there 2.5 weeks before the event. Right? Or argue with a guy who's got some rope line set up with acreage blocked off, and like I'm here with 2 chairs, and it's like, oh, no room for me there.
You got like a chase lounger.
Yeah, right. Because you wanted a play area or whatever, like in this public park that you've declared, this here is mine. And it feeds, and those of us who don't want to participate in that, though, you kind of start to get the sense of, yeah, but if I don't go down there early enough, I'm going to be out. Or the parades are the same thing, and that'll lead us into today's topic of another community taking more steps to curtail people who want to put chairs out and stake out their claims earlier, and this happening in Menominee Falls. But, you know, as dad, I am responsible for the chair placement on Independence Day in my small community of Greendale area.
Now, how difficult is that?
Well, more difficult than it should be. Now, Greendale was one of the first, I shouldn't say one of the first, but earlier in this spectrum of communities now saying like, hey, we're going to cut back on people putting chairs and stuff out really way ahead of time. Greendale has gone to night before now. So our parade is 9:30, 10 o'clock on Independence Day. 10 o'clock maybe is official step-off time.
Okay.
And we're a small community, 14,000 people, right? But we have a really nice parade and not a really long route, and they allow people before that parade. So I think they say 7 p.m. the night before you can start putting your chairs out. Well, first of all, I've come by in the neighborhood of 7 p.m. There's some stuff that's been out a little bit. So people are jumping the gun a little bit.
But generally, the police have the right at that point to confiscate if they want.
And I think they don't want to do that. And if you're just some cop in Greendale, do you really want to be that guy ripping up blankets and chairs, right?
Come on.
No. Right. You don't want to put your officers in that position, right? They don't want to do that, right? So largely it seems that the community complies, but even that's a little bit early for my taste, because what if you're doing something or whatever? My MO is always, I don't mind being up early, obviously. If I'm up at 5.
So that's why you want to do it.
If you and I are up at 5:30 or 6, we slept in by hours.
That's why you'd rather do it in the morning.
A little bit of effort. Let's go.
Now, if you don't set up, though, the night before, are you out of a decent spot?
I have driven up and down Broad Street and what's the little connector there in Greendale at like 6:30 a.m. where my wife has even said, like, are you going to run down there Friday night? Are you going to run down there or the night before? I'm like, I'll just go out in the morning. But now that was my call. Mm-hmm. And now I have the lawn chairs in the back and now older, but back in the day, younger children.
Yeah, no, you have to have a spot.
And I'm driving up and down like, this doesn't look good. There are not spots for maybe a chair here. Maybe you could squeeze in between this encampment here or there. But largely, too, when you get to the parade in Greendale, and I hope in other communities, people make room for each other.
Yes, of course.
So there should be that.
That was going to be my point, yes.
But I love what they're doing in the Menominee Falls, and they're just out with further restrictions. So that's a big parade, and it's on July 3rd. Why are you laughing at me already?
I love that they have further restrictions.
Yes, I like some rules. I want rules of engagement.
All right, so what are they doing now? They've changed it. Before, you could set it up 24 hours in advance. They have the July 3rd parade. It kicks off at 7 p.m. on the 3rd, which is awesome because then right when it's ending, the parade and the fireworks start the next night or an hour later.
And it's a big parade, right?
Yeah, long
you live
parade.
In the Falls.
Yep. I've been in the parade and at the parade multiple years.
Been the parade marshal?
I've never been the marshal. But anyway, before, it would be, 7 p.m. the day before or whatever, and people would be running out there to stake out their area.
Falls has now changed the rules, and this was posted to the Village News page here. Biggest change is there will be no reserve. I love how this is phrased, because the staking off and the encampments always bother me, too. Like, you want to put a couple chairs out, fine. But the people with the stakes and the string and the taken or caution tape, all the
caution tape
drives me
I've
nuts.
Seen it. Yep.
The biggest change is there will be no reserving, staking, taping off, or otherwise marking off viewing areas that are in the public right-of-way prior to July 3rd, 4:30 p.m. Any items placed on the public right-of-way will be removed prior to July 3rd at 4:30
So
p.m.
2.5 hours before the parade.
That's
crazy.
Good, fine.
No.
Why? You want to come to the parade? Come on down a little early, get a spot, here's the parade.
What, because there was like one or two issues over the course of the last several decades of doing it 24 hours in advance?
I do think that they have an issue there that we wouldn't in my community of Greendale, where this is largely occurring on streets that are not major thoroughfares like Appleton Avenue, right?
Yeah, it's a big road.
So what police are going to do is they're going to shut down Appleton at 4:30. So that will allow people to cross the median of what normally would have been traffic, free and clear, no traffic. You don't have those concerns about pedestrian safety. I think that's legitimate.
I get it.
I don't even need that component. I still like it just a few hours ahead of time anyway, in and of itself. But I definitely think safety there on such a busy road where speeds are, what's the speed limit there, 45?
Oh, no, not that high.
I think
it's 30 or 35.
You're going at least 30, 45 or 50,
some
right?
people ride it, yep.
So definitely a pedestrian safety concern there, but also just like, can't we just get back to head out a little early for the event? I mean, I'm looking back on the days that used to drive me nuts, too, about the Great Circus Parade. 2 weeks, Eric. You remember that?
2 weeks?
I remember covering it as a reporter at TMJ4. This guy, first one here. We do this every year. Where do you sleep, man?
2 weeks?
And on Wisconsin Avenue, it was the chalk lines, too. I've chalked out my spot.
You better hope it doesn't rain.
Right? And who has to honor that? Someone was here with chalk a week and a half ago, but I can't put a chair here? It just bred lunacy. So then you sort of thought, there again was another event where it's like, I'd go down to the circus parade, but I don't want to be there a week and a half ahead of time. I'm worried that if I go down there 3 hours ahead of the parade, I won't find a good spot.
Yeah, and that's... So I think
it keeps people away.
I used to help with that. My brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and my mother-in-law would do it more, where they would actually wait even before the 24-hour time frame. They'd be there like on July 2nd afternoon waiting for the time to come so then they can start staking it. But so people would be all kind of hanging out. And generally you would pal up with some of your quote-unquote neighbors on the route and then be like, okay, hey, well, let's work together. We'll work in numbers. It'll be a larger space. That way everyone, and then we'll welcome all families to come hang in this larger space that would be
okay, so Eric has to work. He's not going to be able to be here, but
Which was great when I I couldn't be there.
But maybe some representative of the Billstead family can go down and join this larger conglomerate and help us stake out our area.
But then the idea was always that, any kids could, everyone was welcome to sit in that spot, family, friends, all kinds of people would sit in there.
I like this on the Old National Bank talk and text line. Old National Bank, get old. Text line is 855-616-1620. We'll take your calls as well if you want to chime in. This is both an interesting and funny question. Can you sit on your chair earlier than 2.5 hours before? Are they going to move you too?
To carry you out? I don't know.
Police are going to have some poor old lady sitting in her lawn chair, and they're going to move her.
Any items placed on the public right-of-way will be removed prior to 4:30 p.m.,
including your butt.
The right-of-way areas include the medians, sidewalks, and grassy area between the curb and the sidewalk. Any items placed on the public right-of-way will be confiscated and discarded and abandoned as property to be taken away.
That's it, Grandma. You're under arrest. Let's go. Taking you downtown.
Butt lip.
I like it. You're worried for this.
I see. The reason I guess I'm worried about it, and maybe obviously I must not see it, but there has to have been issues.
It's the movement.
But before, say if you didn't do it 24 hours in advance, you could still work the line the next day before 7 p.m., before the step-off. You'd have all day to find your spot before the parade that night. Now you're going to have okay, let's put all the ants in this tiny jar and shake it and let them all free at the same time. I feel like this could potentially cause more trouble.
You do have that. Remember the Brewers used to do their Arctic tailgate, and they would say, no camping out before this time?
Yeah.
Then there'd be the line that would form
before
the
line.
Right,
yep.
Exactly.
We've seen that on opening day and all that stuff.
I'd love to see more communities move more to a day of presentation. You want to come out a little bit early, that's fine. Put your chairs out, and it gives everybody a little bit more equal chance to have a spot with the little ones in the front of the parade. 855-616-1620. The Old National Bank talk and text line. Would love to hear from you on it next.
Well, we got an accident on the Rock Freeway northbound just past Racine Avenue's on-ramp. It's off on the left shoulder, just something to keep in mind. Not really in traffic. On eastbound 94, we're seeing delays from 76th Street through the stadium. The westbound side is going to be a bit backed up out of the 20th Street area all the way through the stadium interchange as well. Northbound 43 is a lot heavier than the southbound side. We got backups from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Hampton. Southbound side's just heavy right past Silver Spring. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The Brewers Radio Network's Lane Grindle sees it all from the broadcast booth.
Down the right field line, this is up, and it is going to fly out of here.
But what's he like off the air?
It's 2023. It's the year of the cheesehead.
Lane Grindle joins Wisconsin's afternoon news every Monday during the Brewers 2023 campaign.
There'd be nothing better in my life than to be the brother of Lane Grindle.
I did not have a brother, so, John, we can make honorary brothers.
Brought to you by Crest Cadillac of Brookfield. Discover them at CadillacWisconsin.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. You know how you beat the system, Eric. You want to go down there and set out your parade chairs early?
Yeah.
You're worried that they're going to confiscate them? Plop a couple of Sister Bay Furniture chairs out there. Ooh. Good luck, police.
Well, they can't take those.
They can't move those. These are sturdy pieces of patio furniture.
Brilliant idea.
I promise you.
And comfortable for the parade.
For sure. Sister Bay Furniture, premium, high-quality outdoor furniture, built right here in southeast Wisconsin and built to withstand Wisconsin weather. You can leave this stuff out all winter if you like. You certainly don't have to worry in these summer months of bringing it inside or worried about cushions or other things. This is sustainable material. All you have to do to wash it off and clean it, get the hose out and give it a little high pressure on there. Cleans right off, and it's really comfortable stuff. Looks great on the back patio at my house. You can customize your Sister Bay furniture set with different styles, many different colors to choose from to fit your unique outdoor space. And professionals on hand at the showroom to help you in that selection process. You don't have to wait for a beautiful day to go out. The showroom's ready anytime, located out in Sussex on Executive Drive. And if you want to, shop ahead on the website sisterbayfurniture.com to see the entire selection. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow, harvested from your body and then placed back into your body, get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, It's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees. With some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
I do like this idea. 8:24 on Wisconsin's Morning News. You're telling me in the falls, then after the parade, everybody just kind of turns their chairs around and you can see the fireworks
It's
from
awesome.
where you've already staked out the spot.
Usually maybe 25 minutes after the parade, it gets time for it to get a little bit darker, and then all of a sudden, by the high school there, the fireworks go off. Some people even, having been in the parade multiple times, some people are even just staking out spots to watch the fireworks. They don't even watch the parade.
And
They just
by the way, for your entertainment, we have this parade going by if you like.
Right. So there's options there for some folks.
So Menominee Falls is going to restrict the placement of chairs and blankets and whatnot for its community parade, which steps off at 7 p.m. on July 3rd. They're going to say you can't put anything out until 4:30 that night. So they give you 2.5 hours to get it done.
Man, from the 414 Old National Bank talking text line 855-616-1620. Back in the day, my mom would take us downtown for the big circus parade, and we would sleep overnight on the street in sleeping bags.
Yes.
There you go.
I can't tell, though. Is that a fond memory, or is that like this was an act of lunacy?
Why are we doing
You shouldn't have to sleep overnight to see a parade.
I remember specifically one night when I used to live downtown, late at night, seeing that someone had put out their chairs, their lawn chairs for the circus parade, and it was before the city had put out the giant bleachers that they put for some spots.
Yeah, because there are some designated viewing areas.
Yeah. And here their chairs had been pushed back and boom, bleachers put down.
Clang.
Imagine coming the next day. Oh, I got this great spot, honey. Oh.
Yeah, you know why it was great? Because that's where the bleachers go. Boy, they put this down right over my chalk line. That one used to really... Is it on you to honor the chalk line that someone else laid down a week ago?
Yes.
It is? Chalk? You have to do better than that. At least give me some string. This one I appreciate, too. Tosa changed this several years ago. Now I wake up to the clatter of lawn chairs at 6 a.m. I think that was in effect even back when I was a kid, because we lived really close to the route. I was on Jackson Park Boulevard, so it runs parallel to North Avenue in Tosa, where they stage that really big parade every year. And I was also a Milwaukee Sentinel carrier, so I'd walk it up and down the parade route after finishing my route to sell extra papers to people. And Tosa, a number of years ago, went to that 6 a.m. day of, and I think that's always a 9 o'clock start in Tosa.
I've seen the Tosa one, and that one takes some work to get a good spot if with all the people that are there. Here's one from the 414. Sean Went doesn't need to reserve a spot as the permanent parade marshal. It's always up front.
So I got on the phone and I called Sean Went.
Sean Went's the marshal.
Sean, I need some help.
Whatever parade he's in.
He's the one getting me my spots.
855-616-1620 is the Old National Bank talk and text line. Let me bring Alex in this morning. Hi, Alex.
Hey, good morning, guys. Love the topic. Hey, I was at a small parade up in central Wisconsin. I wouldn't say small. It was big for the community. 100 years old, bunch of fire departments, the high school, cheerleaders, the whole deal. And I noticed a guy up in a bucket truck with his wife, like a tree trimming bucket truck. He parked like probably half a block away, and he just zipped up in the air and hung out over the top of the sidewalk. No lawn chair necessary.
It's genius.
Best seat ever.
It was the craziest sight I've seen. I'm like, and he just hung there, and he was drinking beers, and I was like, and nobody said a word to him. He just put the bucket truck back down and drove off.
Hey, guy, how much for a seat up in a bucket?
The only problem with that is you're not getting candy up there.
No, I suppose you wouldn't.
But I think he was throwing beers. Honestly, I remember him throwing some beers down.
Well, that doesn't sound like something that would happen there in central Wisconsin from bucket truck guy, Alex.
Be careful there.
Oh no, never.
You might hit someone between the eyes on accident too.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. That's a good story. Can absolutely see that.
It could absolutely kill somebody too. That thing hit someone wrong.
For sure. Hodag Country Fest in Rhinelander has a unique option. The chair race. Everyone lines up at the designated time with their chairs in color-coded groups. They fire the gun. Whoever gets the spot first gets it. Fair is fair. Never leads to fights. So far.
Is this how the gold rush was way back in the day when they were opening up the land to anybody when everyone was just kind of rushing west?
A little bit. And that's to the point. That was to find gold. This is to see the parade.
Well, see, we've gotten a couple of those texts, too, asking, like, why is this so important? I will admit, sometimes parades can get a little, oftentimes...
lengthy?
Yeah, and there's like almost advertisements walking through there where it's not even like a float. It's just like...
a couple of those, like, was the committee really looking for another parade? Another entry here?
Right. Or all the politicians that walk through and you're like, oh, okay. All right.
I'll never forget the St. Patrick's Day parade because I had kids who Irish danced, and so we go down there. And my dad couldn't wait for the Common Council to go through because Donovan was always out there. And regardless of his politics, my dad just liked that Donovan would always raise hell. And he couldn't wait for
during
Donovan.
the parade?
Couldn't wait for Donovan to come by and go, give him hell, Bob! Yes.
All right, so I'm curious how Bob Donovan would sound as he is walking the parade route.
Well, yes, sir. I tell you what, we're going to give it to him and then some.
Does he ever throw any candy?
I don't have any candy. I don't need candy. I've brought you the gift of my legislative service. Public service, Eric. And now I'm doing it in the state level. And we're going to get this deal done.
I wonder what his favorite fireworks would be.
I don't need fireworks. I got fireworks right here on the assembly floor. And that's how we're going to do it. 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Eric?
Uh-oh.
Don't get caught in the worst of Wisconsin. Listen to severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Presented by Fleet Farm. Proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons, best-selling author and executive producer of a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you are over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, 1-800-578-3535. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. No credit card required. Call right now. 1-800-578-3535. That's 1-800-578-3535. Again, 1-800-578-3535.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formally breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Get ready, Milwaukee, for Thursday!
Parade on Thursday?
Parade on Thursday, what? Oh my God!
The solution that I'll suggest to myself about, getting all worked up about when we can put the chairs out and could just relax a little bit, I suppose.
And not go to the parade? What do you mean?
No, just
relax.
me. Like, I could just relax my brain a little bit.
And not get worked up over
Just roll with stuff once in a while. Could you just roll with it once in a while, ever?
Please.
8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Here's Eric.
A proposal that would ban flags, signage, and what's being called divisive propaganda has been considered at an Arrowhead Union High School Board Committee meeting today. That meeting took place earlier this morning. The measure would prohibit signage that promotes one group over others, stating that it can create isolation and division if they have those pieces and flags in place. Some students were seen outside that meeting hall protesting the consideration. Another day of thick, smoky air blanketing hundreds of millions of people, mainly in the eastern half of the U.S. This is from the Canadian wildfires. New York, very thick smoke again today. Bad air quality in Washington, D.C. as well today, and we are seeing some delays on the flights out and some cancellations with some flights and even some school closures on the East Coast because of what's happening today in those wildfires and the smoke. News about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. Right now, the Dow is starting up 14, the NASDAQ starting up 30, and the S&P starting up 4. Get on track with investment and retirement planning. Visit annexwealth.com and click the Get Started button today. Checking the roads now. It's Debbie Lazaga.
All right. Well, we do have some delays, but the accidents and everything are gone now. One on the Rock Freeway northbound at Racine Avenue. That's gone, and so things are moving along better through there. We got eastbound 94. Just a quick tap the brakes coming out of the Stadium interchange. Westbound still slow about 20th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living. Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options. Visit harwoodplace.org or call to schedule a tour.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, sunny, a little hazy today, a high of 75. Tonight, clear sky, a low of 52. Friday, sunny, a high of 80. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 83. There is a chance for showers or storms late on Saturday. Sunday, cloudy with rain likely, cooler, a high of 67. Right now, in Milwaukee, it is currently 60 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:35.
If you need a place for new home interior ideas, then you have to come talk to us. Our on-staff decorators know furniture, home decor, and a lot more. And they're not only creative, but also very willing to help you make great choices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Stop in often because our inventory changes daily.
Design Exchange.
Previously, it has been gently loved, but here you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Stepping Stone Homes is hosting an area-wide open house this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Stepping Stone Homes is known for quality construction and craftsmanship. Visit our Doors Open event this Sunday. Tour many of our popular floor plans and register to win amazing prizes. Buy one of our move-in ready homes between June 6th and June 12th and receive a free washer and dryer and a free Weber grill and free window treatments. Don't miss Stepping Stone Homes Doors Open event this Sunday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Visit steppingstonehomes.net for prize details and locations.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. When it comes to memory care and assisted living, you want a team that knows compassion and empathy. That's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I know, my grandma's in assisted living. I have an aunt, one of my favorite aunts, right now in memory care. At Azura, they specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms. They provide additional daily living assistance for those with cognitive decline. 14 locations in Wisconsin, AzuraLiving.com, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. The teams I trust are at Azura, AzuraLiving.com.
8:37 on Wisconsin's Morning News. I had an interesting conversation this morning about an event that's going to be coming up that you could attend if you like. Late this season, the Milwaukee Bucks signed a guy who'd been out of basketball for 2 years. Now, it was in part due to injury initially, but then he'd also been basically canceled for using an anti-Semitic slur while on a public gaming platform, a hateful word that Myers Leonard claimed he didn't even know what it really meant.
To be totally honest with you, I was sad that I was losing my job. I was sad that I hurt people. And frankly, all I cared about in my life outside of taking care of my family. But honestly, it's like 1A and 1B was going to make this right.
That is Myers Leonard, who joined the Bucks this spring, speaking with ESPN's Outside the Lines about the incident. Now, since then, he has been on this years-long redemption tour. He has met with Jewish leaders all across the country in the various communities in which he's lived, and he's planning to speak publicly about this process again at Milwaukee's Jewish Community Center next week. I'll be a part of that, Eric, moderating a conversation with Myers. Mark Shapiro, president and CEO of the Harry and Rose Sampson Family Jewish Community Center, joined us earlier this morning to talk about it. I've called Mark a friend for many years, and I know he takes his commitment not just to the Jewish community, but the community at large very seriously. And Mark would not invite someone into his house whom he thought was just going through the motions, right? Saying
Lip
what he
service.
needed to do, so he could get back and play ball. Here's what Mark had to say about that.
There are a lot of athletes who have had challenges, who, like you said in the intro, been canceled. And Myers is clearly somebody who is very different about this, very interested in fixing the hate speech that is happening in the world from the platform he has.
So the event is going to be called, where do I have it here? It's coming up Wednesday. It's open to everyone. Anybody who wants to be a part of it can. Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at the Jewish Community Center. And, Mark's point was we wanted to open it up not just to the Jewish community, but everyone in the community. What he just said there about, hate speech affecting everyone. And also his true belief that Myers is contrite and deserves a shot to ask for forgiveness. You asked a really important question to follow up.
Hey, Mark, what are you hoping to learn?
I'm going to be really interested to see actually what all the people who are there are willing to learn. I'm going to be watching our community. That is going to be the question of, it's been such a cancel culture. Are people really willing to let people make amends? There's pretty solid lessons about redemption, the Hebrew word teshuvah, of actually being forgiven and how you get forgiven. I'm going to be intrigued to see if the community is really ready to accept an apology. Can a person make a mistake and then fix it, or is it just canceled out the minute you make that mistake?
I think anytime we talk about these things, Eric, and this is a point that I definitely want to make, is each one of these has to be viewed on a case-by-case basis. They're not all the same, right?
Correct.
Because here in this case, you got a guy, Myers Leonard, who said a word one time. Believe him or not, he says he didn't even know what it meant. It was an anti-Semitic slur. And he's like, I wasn't trying to make an anti-Jewish comment here. I was just saying a word that I had heard repeated. He owned that, said, I should have known better, but I didn't. And I'm also deeply sorry for it. And here's what I'm doing about it. I'm meeting with all these the leadership in these various communities. 2 years later is still talking about it and offering to be contrite, versus someone who it's uncovered has a manifesto of anti-Semitic writings or whatever.
Gets caught, if you will.
Yes, and is very sorry they're caught.
Right.
Or different situation, different type of judgment. The UW-Madison student, 20 years old, caught something posted on social media in not just using a word, but sort of a screed of hate speech.
Yeah, just racist screed, yeah.
Right. So you can't look at each one of these the same every time. You have to judge, and we do judge, right? I know we're not supposed to sit in judgment of everyone, but that's what we do, right? You have to judge if you're evaluating, is this person an honest actor? Does this person deserve redemption in our eyes of the community? You have to look at each situation, I think, separately on a case-by-case, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in that. The other thing that we talked with Mark about is, I'm like, why'd you ask me? Right? I asked Mark when he invited me.
That's a legitimate question.
Yeah. He said, look, we're going to have this thing at the J on Wednesday. And as I said, Mark and I have known each other many years. We've collaborated on a number of events. And he said, I think you could be the person that leads this conversation. So there'll be an introduction, and then Myers Leonard is going to sit, and I'll sit with him. And he said, we want you to go at him for a half hour. And then they are also going to open it up to questions from the community. And I said, Mark, I feel like I need to ask you this. Don't you want a Jew to be there to ask him those questions? Do you want someone from the J? Why don't you do it? Why didn't some of the others on your board or somebody else? And he said, no, I deliberately don't want that. Because this is a community conversation, and I want someone who's a professional interviewer to come in and just he goes, treat it like you would any other news subject and get it all out there. Ask them whatever you want.
I think it would be great. Knowing you, too, you're going to have this prepped really well. I'm sure you'll have very strong, provocative questions, not meant to, sensationalize anything. So I think it'll be good.
And I think I'll stay. I'm going back and forth on how I open, because it's about Myers-Leonard, and it's about his journey, and it's about the Jewish Community Center. It's not about me, but I also want to state, right off the front end, it's funny because it's at the JCC, but I may lead with a Jesus quote. Right? Which is, let he who is without sin cast the first stone, right? So I'm not going to sit up there in a chair in judgment of Myers or in judgment of any of these folks. I just said we judge people. I just mean human nature to judge and evaluate. But my job is not to sit there and condemn him or not condemn him, to forgive him or not. Just my job, I view that night, is to lead the conversation and let the community react how they will.
I wonder if he has universally been accepted back now. Now, I'm not sure how many people actually know who he is as far as an NBA player goes.
Right. It's a different thing if he's a superstar.
But I do wonder if he still is going through this era of redemption. Yeah, obviously he is if he's doing this next week, but if he's, I would have believed that he's happy to do this, that this is something that he now feels strongly about and knows that not only is it important for him and his growth, but just for the community too.
And I wonder, here's another question I think I'm going to ask him is, will you do this again next year if you're with a different team? What about 5 years from now? What about 10 years from now? At what point, if any, are you ever officially in his own mind, past this? Is this not one of the top few things you read when you Google Myers-Leonard? It's first he's an NBA player, and then this, and then this, and then maybe there's a footnote down there. Is this something that he has passed by? Is there ever a getting fully past this, or are you always on this redemption tour? Do you always have to address it when you're in a new place? Be interesting. If you'd like to join us, it's called Words Matter, a Jewish community conversation with Myers-Leonard at 7 p.m. next week, Wednesday. It's at the JCC. It is free, and everyone is welcome. 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We are still seeing some delays coming out of the Marquette interchange. Well, technically, right around 25th Street, all the way through the stadium interchange. So give yourself a few extra minutes with that. Northbound 43, still going to be a bit heavy from just about North Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. Southbound 41, back to normal, pretty much looking good both directions, actually. 41 between the Zoo and Highway Q, standard speeds. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Vince Vitrano here for our partners at 911 Heating and Air. Did you turn on the AC when we were pushing 90 degrees and didn't like what happened? You're reaching down there, you're like, is that air coming out cold? Or even worse, the unit's just flat not running? That's a 911 call. And don't start calling around asking for a referral, asking your friends, hey, do you know somebody in the HVAC business? I got one for you right now, a guy I trust in the HVAC business, 911 Heating and Air. I met with the owner, Alex Peterson, recently, and he can sell you a new AC unit. He will guarantee his crews work, 10-year warranty on the new units. But what really gets him talking and excited is saving your old unit. Alex and his team offer the AC overhaul, any age unit that includes all new parts and services with a 2-year ice-cold guarantee on all the work. All pricing is listed right up front on the website. You've got an honest guy in the heating and air business and a referral from me. Tell him Vinny sent you. Visit 911heatusa.com.
The 2017 tax cuts are set to expire. There's limited time to ensure your financial plan is making the most of our current low-tax environment. At Creative Planning, we'll help you get ahead of coming tax changes with a financial plan and portfolio specifically designed to help you keep more of your hard-earned money. To see how your plan would look, we're offering you a free wealth path analysis. Head to creativeplanning.com/radio to request your free plan. Act fast. This offer is only available till Monday at midnight.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
We are persnickety about the materials we use to make you some of the finest mattresses your money can buy. Nothing but the best wool, latex, cotton, and innersprings, period. And the reason we can sell Milwaukee mattresses for hundreds less than premium national mattress brands is that we manufacture them in our own Milwaukee factory and sell them direct to you at our family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you. Can you buy a queen-size mattress at our stores for $4.99? No, but you will find high-quality mattresses available in all of the most popular options, priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands, because we manufacture them and we're the only ones who sell them. Shop and compare, you'll see we're the best kept secret in town. Milwaukee mattresses from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee, where no middleman means no extra markup and real savings for you. KenMichaelsFurniture.com.
Art imitates life, and then life imitates art right back. Remember the cabinet battle in Hamilton the musical?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We fought for these ideals, we shouldn't settle for less. These are wise words, enterprising men quote them. Don't act surprised, you guys, cause I wrote them.
He did. The rap battle over the plan for a national treasury, and the part that's germane to today's conversation, the founders, of course, in the early days of the nation, battling through the machinations of the Democratic Republic that they created, and starting to work through what that really means, which is, yeah, there have always been backroom deals, in the room where it happened, et cetera. But to turn those plans into action, you got to get larger approval of the whole.
You don't have the votes. You don't have the votes. You're gonna need congressional approval, and you don't have the votes.
So you know who doesn't have the votes today?
The state Senate.
Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu.
How about that?
Wisconsin State Assembly did pass that bill to up state shared revenue payments to local municipalities and counties across the state. That's a few weeks now, right?
Yes.
Since they passed that?
Yes.
So that includes in it a provision that would allow Milwaukee County to levy additional sales tax, and for the city of Milwaukee for the first time to create a sales tax with all kinds of strings attached. And that's what everybody's arguing over, including that both entities would need to put those proposals to a binding referendum. So in other words, you can do all that if voters approve it. And it puts local leaders in the unenviable position of having to publicly say now, we don't want to put it to a referendum because we don't think it'll pass. We'd rather just have you let us do this.
Stick it to them.
So LeMahieu then in the state Senate thought they might pass a version of the state shared revenue plan that removed that referendum provision.
Right. That's what he said a couple of weeks ago.
He did. He said, well, we'll take a look at it. We know what Voss said over there, Assembly Speaker, in the Assembly, but we're going to look at it in the Senate here, and we may pass a plan that removes some of those provisions that are real sticky.
You don't have the votes. You don't have the votes.
So he doesn't have the votes. And he said as much. I don't have the votes to pass a new plan without those provisions in it. So now we're at last best offer. It appears this is the deal that was passed in the Assembly, as would be passed in the Senate. Referendum and other strings still attached, all included for Milwaukee. So let's get the take here from Assembly Speaker Robin Voss.
We already passed a bill. It's now in the Senate. I think that the idea of having a referendum, some people have objections to, as you heard from Senator LeMahieu, I think it was on up front, where he said that he did not have votes without a referendum in there.
Should I play it again? No, I'll just...
It's a good song.
Have the vote.
It's a fun song.
So Voss saying time to move on. All right, they looked at it over there in their caucus, in their chamber. He did say that he met with Governor Evers earlier in the week, and there is concern that Evers would veto the bill if it has all those strings attached for Milwaukee. But he said they've been talking, but essentially Voss has had it.
As I have said before, it is not my first option, but if we do not get a deal this week, I think we should strip out all of the Milwaukee things, and we will just focus on the balance of the bill, which is repealing the personal property tax and making sure that every community around the state is not held hostage by Milwaukee's problems.
Hasn't this been weird and strange since the very beginning? Since the first day they announced it?
You have a better nose for this stuff than I do, because right away when we saw some of those early news conferences, the mayor involved, the county executive, and then leaders from the GOP in Madison standing together saying, we worked this all out.
So what's the plan?
That's right. At first we
don't
weren't
really have a
releasing the
plan yet. Yeah, we still got to figure that part out. And that's the part that I don't get. The skeptic in me almost wonders if this was the ultimate goal all along. Never to have anything accomplished.
For Republicans to be able to say, look, we tried with these guys. And for city and county to say, like, look, we tried with the legislature.
And that's the part that I don't understand, because we had heard, and I have the sound, but I could pull it up, of Cavalier Johnson saying, look, I've been to the Capitol a million times. Crowley doing the same thing. I've been to the Capitol all these times, meetings. And then immediately after we saw what the plan was, they'll say, no, this is not, we can't do it this way. We need to fix it. We need to change it. So what happened? How in the world did all these meetings, all these hours turn into this, where now it's an ultimatum where it likely won't even be in the package?
And at some point you do have to, I appreciate the negotiation. I appreciate at all that you have legislative leadership and the governor speaking to each other at all.
Of course.
So that's a new development, which is good and positive. But at some point, you got to stop negotiating, and it either passes or it doesn't. It gets vetoed or it doesn't. But either way, I think you're right. You've got all these negotiations that have been going on for weeks, if not months. Legislative officials and the governor now on the clock and in danger of being fully undone.
You don't have the votes.
You don't have the votes.
Now that it finally feels like summer, it's time to fest. Summerfest is back. Keep it tuned here on WTMJ for all things Summerfest, including interviews and, of course, ticket giveaways. During the fest, make sure to stop by the Pella Windows and Doors mobile studio at the Gruber Law Office's Sports Zone. We are your Summerfest headquarters, WTMJ.
The year is almost half over and you are still